Well, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Good Sunday. We have a vintage laptop to work on today, so hope everyone's doing well. It's nice and cold where I am right now. It's only 22 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty cold for Texas, but hope everyone's doing well. Just was running around real quick trying to find some floppy disks. Hey, Daryl, $20. Thank you so much, Daryl. I can always count on you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I was running around this morning trying to find floppy disks because our Windows or our vintage 1991 laptop, we're going to try to load 3.1 or 3.11 on there if we can get it working. So I have some of these set up, but I only have 6 disks here. I need 7, so we're going to have to kind of repeat on some of them. But anyway, yeah, so let's see. It's supposed to be 80 in Phoenix today. So it had been 75, 80 a couple days ago, and then right back to 22 this morning. I'm sure it will get back to 65 today or something like that. Did I 3D print these floppy disks? No, I went and looked around and I kind of collected these. These are from a flood that happened a long time ago, and I had pictures on these that I was sending to the insurance company. So this is about 20 something years ago that I had these floppies that I just found. Apparently they still work. Greetings, JFix, welcome. Premise, how are you doing? 3.1 or 3.11? I guess 3.1. I don't know. I always just 3.1. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do workgroups version. Whatever I got on archive.org, I can't remember what it was because I had downloaded it a while back, and so I have to look. We got negative 6 degrees C. Wolfie, where are you at? 20 degrees Fahrenheit in Florida. So it is cold even in Florida. That's crazy. 6.2 DOS. I don't know. You guys are going to have to tell me. I'm going to look it up. So it was like on archive.org, you can get everything. And so that's kind of what we're going to end up doing. But the machine that we have here was donated by one of our viewers here, by Michael. And this machine right here is from 1991. Now, you've seen this before on one of my streams, but it's not this one because I have another one. Uh-oh, I just pulled my light out. I have another one here that we took apart and we were messing with. Let me see if I can get this light back on. And anyway, so this one we couldn't get working, the one that I had, but this one that was donated, I think actually works. So we're gonna have to kind of play around with that and see if we can get it going. We'll have to make a power supply. Let's see, I don't have all my stream stuff pulled up here. Let me see if I can update this. But it's going to be interesting. We'll see how well it actually functions. You never know, you never know. And let me see over here. Okay, let's see. Hello from South Africa. Ben's runs VW. Let's see, 45 degrees in Eugene, Oregon. 45 in Eugene? Oh, that seems like it's kind of warm. 36 degrees in Tampa. Someone else in Discord messaged you last night and replaced the 54B2 replaced with the 54B1, not compatible. 54B2 versus a B1. I looked at the Discord. I was trying to figure out because I saw that they messaged you. 54B2. I'm trying to think of what that is. Like right now, my brain's drawing a blank, but maybe it's because I didn't exercise this morning for the first time because it's February. I'm going to take a break. It's 13 in New York, 44 degrees where I am. The entire western seaboard of Texas, 20 degrees to 40 degrees below normal temperature. That makes sense. Does it have a built-in modem? So this one is made to have a modem, and so here's our modem door right here. We'll go to this shot. Here's our modem door, and I actually have a piece of tape on here because it kept falling off. But yeah, we'll take a tour around here. It doesn't have a modem built in right now, so we'll take a quick tour around this after we do our little introductions. But I have some stuff I want to show you before we get into all that stuff. So look at this. So I don't know if you saw the greatest technician that's ever lived, Andy over there at Salem Techsperts. He had bought some of these guys These are going to be DDR5 adapters for a desktop that you can put laptop memory in. So I got some of these in. I haven't tried them out yet, but we'll see how well that works. Because again, I have 32 gigs of RAM in this machine that I'm using right now for streaming, and I'd rather get 64. And I have some 32 gig laptop modules, so I wouldn't mind hooking those up. The other thing I want to show you is, I don't know if you noticed this little power meter right here. Check that out. So let me turn it off and show you the difference, but see if I can find where it is. Okay, so here's my old power meter, right? Or this is my power meter. I was able to make a digital version of it. Now, it doesn't work that well because it's just kind of like a dodgy type of thing that I set up real quick, but I was able to make a pass-through device, and that's right here. So this isn't actually reading right off of my meter itself. It's actually reading off this other device. And I actually bought some stuff that I can integrate into this other one, but I'll have to write all the firmware for it and write a UI and all that stuff, so I didn't feel like dealing with that. So what I did is, here, let me unplug this and I'll show you what it is. So this is what I made. It's a pass-through device. This is actually an old USB-C power meter. So it's a cheapo one that has a USB plug on it. And so I just took the little thing off of here, and I can actually show you how I hooked it up to this thing, but let me peel off this tape. Now there's an issue with it, and I'll show you in a second. Can I get this tape off of here? I'll have to cut the tape off. But I'll show you how I hooked it up. But it's actually pretty simple to mod one of these if it has a USB interface that you can hook to a computer and actually read the pass-through current. But these things aren't rated for, you know, what are we running? 16 amps through it if we're using a 330 watt, or 12 amps if we're doing a 240. So it's not rated for the right amount. Come on. I taped this on here too good. 0 degrees C. That's freezing. Wolfie, when you have a free, wait, then you'll have a free camera for something else. That's right. Or a backup camera. That's, you know, like I could point to something else while I'm doing something. Yeah, so free camera. All right, yeah, I got this off now. Finally. That was a lot of work. Hopefully I'm not breaking it while I'm doing this. Okay, so here's what I did. We'll get under the microscope. All right, so here's the USB power meter. You can see that it has a screen on it. It has a USB input and a USB output, USB-C output. I don't care about any of this stuff, right? This is an older one that has a micro USB interface to plug into a piece of software on the computer. I just use this as a big ground pad. And so I have my DC jack output, my DC jack input, and I just use this as a common ground here. And then here's our big shunt resistor, or current sense resistor, that we need to be able to sense the current going through. And I just soldered straight onto the top of that and straight onto the top of that. So the input goes on one side, and then the output comes on the other side, and then that's it. Very simple, right? Only took me, I don't know, 15 minutes or something to do this. And then I just taped it up. And it actually worked. I was surprised, actually. I was surprised. So let me show you what the USB or the software looks like. Here, let me pull that up. Let's see. So here's the piece of software. It's pretty basic, but you just connect to it, and then it should read it. And why it's not doing it? Oh, because I don't have any voltage going through it. And then I use it as a pass-through. So I just take my voltage that would be coming from a DC jack, and I plug that in here, and then I take the output of that, and then I pass it right into my power box here, and I'll just plug it into the back. And then that energizes up the power box. And then now you can actually see there's voltage going through here. And so here's the issue, is this thing's only a 5 amp limit or 5.5 amp limit or something like that. But because I'm attaching straight to that current sense resistor, it passes it all through. So it doesn't care. Oh yeah, and you can actually see there is a voltage drop in here, I think. Let's see, 1.4. No, it's actually showing the right amount. But under current load, you'll have a little bit of a voltage drop because the shunt resistor or current source resistor is actually kind of a higher value than like what's on a laptop. And so you actually have a voltage drop there. But basically what ends up happening whenever I'm, come on. What ends up happening whenever I'm actually running a laptop at full bore on this, it ends up doing, it maxes out at 107 watts, which is right around 5 and something amps, and it just stops showing anything higher than that. So I could be pulling 200 watts over here on my power meter. I can pull 200 watts here, but then it will only show on the screen the other amount. So I can show you what that looks like. But at least for basic, you know, it's clear, and it's right here, and it will work for anything under 100 watts. That's probably works fine. I don't know. We'll see if I do another version of it or not. I have no idea what I do, but it's pretty simple, and anybody can make one of those too. Backup camera for your desk chair. Yeah, I'm going to hook this right onto my chest. Maybe I should have a chest cam. We'll just have a chest cam, and that will allow me for anyone to be able to see what I'm doing when I'm looking around, or a head cam. Okay, you love seeing the ingenuity. Yeah, it's been annoying because I've been trying to figure out how I was going to do this for a long time, and so I did buy a shunt board, and I have an ESP32 coming, but then again, I'll have to write the software in order to interface with the computer and do I mean, I could do some vibe coding or something with AI, but I just hate dealing with that crap. So, but I think I'll probably try that out a little bit. I already have it on 1 or 2 videos that I've filmed, and we'll see. But yeah, using an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi, usually I use Arduinos or ESP32s when I'm programming or building these like type of devices that are interfacing with other things. So, I had a Dell 820N and sold it solid for years. Just 820 or D820. I keep saying 820. D820. Yes, it's a Latitude, and I actually had one of those. I've had all of those machines throughout the years. They've been pretty good. That's actually the same as a Precision M65. Have you ever broke someone's computer while trying to repair it? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's happened. And then you just fix it. But yeah, I mean, we did it live actually. Oh, yeah. I was live, and I ripped someone's keyboard connector or something. I don't know if you all remember that. I was peeling off some paper or film on the back of a motherboard, and then the ribbon cable was still plugged in, and it kind of ripped the connector. And so I ended up having to replace the ribbon cable connector live on this while we were doing it. So GoPros are good for short videos. Other than that, they overheat quickly. Yeah, and I'm sure that's the same as like system I have with these 2 cameras I have actual fans on them in order to keep them from overheating, even though they're not GoPros. They're Nikon Z30s, and I will never buy them again. They're cheap, but they are pissing me off. So, like I said, stuff is too expensive back then when poor boy in California. I always bought stuff used when I was younger. I feel like I'm laggy a little bit. Do I look a little stuttery? I don't know. I look stuttery on my screen. The only way to fix that is to reboot OBS. What happened to the motherboard covered in blue formal coating? So I'm going to tell you something about that. It's still sitting right here. So I actually haven't messed with it anymore because I've been busy the rest of the week, and the guy really wants a motherboard replaced. He wants a new motherboard. I looked, and I can't get a motherboard for this, and he wants a 4090. This has an RTX 4080 in it. He wants an RTX 4090 board. I can buy an entire machine. It will cost me $2,500 to get one. Hey, trucker, thank you so much. And that's the only thing I can find. I found maybe a used machine for $2,000, but that's not going to be worth, these boards. I usually sell the 4090 board for about $1,300, $1,350, something like that, US. And so, I don't know. So, but what I did figure out, let me show you this. And so for those who aren't there, let me take this heatsink back off. I want to show you, and then we'll get into our vintage computer. I know, I just wanted to kind of, because we might pivot to this shortly if the other one goes fine. But let me just show you this while we're in chat mode right now. Flux, I want to buy it. I want to be able to smell it. Did you buy the Flux, the Black Horse Flux? Because that stuff smells good. That stuff smells really good. You're in Portugal. Always new, never fixed. Brand new. Testing AI and Claude wrote nifty ESP32 UI and temp. So it was able to do a serial interface that was like good pace. Every serial interface I wrote has been really bad. It's the polling, the speed is just so horrible. So, I mean, yeah, I guess I could vibe code it. I hate that. I'm sure that's what AI is good for, right? Something. All right, and the heatsink is off. All right, so this is just what I want to show you. We worked on this on the last live stream on Wednesday. If you didn't catch it, you can go back and watch it. But this guy sent this in because the LCD screen is not turning on, and he conformal coated the entire motherboard, or this whole area. That's what the blue stuff is, and made it where it was essentially waterproof because he was worried about his liquid metal he kept putting on here. Well, we opened it up and there's liquid metal all over the board in different areas, and this wasn't protecting anything. And we found a blown chip right here in the middle, and we took it off, and we haven't went any further than that because I stopped because it was going to be a pain to rebuild this. Let me see if I can get you a better view here. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. All right, so this chip right here was all burned up, and then this is missing right here. There was a big blob of liquid metal sitting here shorting it out, and you can see that these three pads are together. 1, 2, 3. There's supposed to be 4 one across here. So there's 1, 2, 3. These are all one pad. This pad right here actually ties, I think, to this pin here, and then this pad is missing, and this one actually ties to this one. I looked it up, and so the screen still doesn't work. We took that off of there, but what I wasn't thinking that this was going to actually do anything that had anything to do with the screen. Hey Wolfie, thanks for the resub. And I looked it up, and I just figured out that we have let me see if I can pull it back up. Let's see. All right, so here's our board, and if we look at the chip itself, here are the 3 pads that are there, kind of, and then this is the one. This one's missing altogether, and it attaches right here, and this one goes right here. So this chip is missing, but we'll be able to just run a tracer across here and fix that. That's not a big deal. This one ties to here. This pad's missing altogether. We'll be able to just run a trace and hook it over here, or run a trace and hook it over here. Not a big deal. And this one we'll be able to rebuild because it's kind of a big pad. But what does this chip do? It says it's the 19 volts to 1.2 power VGA phase. So I don't know if I thought it was just for the GPU, starting the GPU up. And if the GPU doesn't come on, I don't really care because there's a CPU graphics card. So, but this might have something to do with the actual picture not showing up on the screen. So anyway, we could try rebuilding that and doing that later. I just wanted to kind of bring that up because as an update, and we can work on it or not. That's just if we have time. But we're getting into this vintage computer right now. Doggy style, raw dog style. LM was bad. Liquid metal is a insane product, and I'm so tired of it. So the board's such a mess. I kind of gave up on it because I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just a pain. But I think we'll be able to figure it out. You use a Precision 7540 with a Xeon, but it's not turning on and it's showing an amber light. Not turning on, showing an amber light. So amber light means that battery's dead usually if it's just showing an amber light. So you may just have a charging issue or a power issue. Try a different AC adapter. Sometimes your DC jacks on those break. And if other than that, it could be a BIOS issue. I've seen that on that machine. So double price, no warranty. I couldn't do that. Yeah, I don't know. What ends up happening, I work on that, we worked on this for so long, and then what if I just send it back and the guy, because I couldn't get a board and he doesn't, and we're not gonna be able to fix this. It'll be, I charge $79 for a diagnostic, but that includes return shipping, so I really only get like $50, and I've worked on it for however many hours, and so I'll make, what, $10 an hour? But, and for something that was completely destroyed in the first place, and I shouldn't even wasted my time messing with it. Can the coating be removed? Well, we put it through an ultrasonic cleaning cycle twice, so no. Can you please recommend a good Precision 7000 series that has replaceable parts? Well, the Precision 7740, 7750, 7760, 7770, they're all, you know, out there. The newer ones are going to have less parts in the ether. So, you know, a 7740, 7750 will have more parts available than the 7760, 7770, 7780, because those are newer. Dell keeps those parts in stock longer. So, but you can just go on our site and you can just, you know, go to each one of those categories and see how many parts are available. And then you can be like, okay, well, that one has tons of parts. Let's go ahead and get that one. So, did you see Soren's video about AI, YouTube videos for board repair? Yes, and I've actually thought about making one of those. I really want to make one of those. I do. I almost did a follow-up. I was just like, I don't have time to do all these videos, though. It's just like, but yeah. I think it would be fun to do that sometimes, because I know that AI, people are always sending me AI like descriptions of what's wrong with the machine, and whenever I get it, I'm like, okay, well, this doesn't, probably not right. Now, it'd be interesting if it really knew the circuit diagram or knew exactly how that board was laid out. So, say you didn't have a board view for that machine, and you really go, okay, where does, you know, PC 401 connect to, and it will tell you like all the different areas of the board and what area of the board to go look at or something like that, and maybe even give you a diagram. That'd be really neat. Dip the entire laptop into conformal coating before applying the liquid metal. Santa Claus. So I remember seeing a video a long time ago, but there was like a waterproofing stuff that you can put on your laptop, and you can dip your laptop into water. So I wonder if that would actually work better. T1000 was made of liquid metal. That's right. We're talking about Terminator. The Terminator. Okay, you guys ready to do this vintage machine? You guys ready? You guys ready? So here's our 320N from 1991. I was looking up different commercials for it, and there is a picture of Michael Dell holding the laptop like this and just kind of standing there smirking or whatever it is. But that's really it. There's no like real like the future is now type of commercial with that Dell made for this thing. But so we'll do a quick roundabout on it, and then we can try turning it on. And I've turned it on, like full disclosure, I have turned it on, and it does turn on. So, whoo, pop the bubble on that one. So I know that this one does turn on. I just hate lying about it and acting like, oh, I haven't turned it on. So that's not who I am. But all right, so a quick roundabout on this thing. So this thing was produced in 1991, has a 386, does not have the Mathco processor installed, but there is a slot for it. It was shipped with 1 mega RAM, but it is upgradable to 5, if you can believe that. So there is a access door here to access the CPU and memory. You're not necessarily accessing the CPU, but the Mathco processor would go here. Your memory module would go here. So it has 1 mega RAM, and there's like a card that goes on top that allows you to, I guess, add 5 megs to it. Or you can go up to 5, so I guess you're adding 4. And let's see, what else specs we have. It's a, how many? I can't remember what the specs were on the screen. 320 by 240, might be a 320 by 240 super low resolution screen, but I don't think it even was color. I think it's a green screen. I mean, you can see there's some sort of something going on here. So that's what we'll have to address there. What I do like is we have clicky keys, more or less, so I can actually type and feel like I'm a coder. But the one feature that you're missing here is there's no trackpad. There's no mouse, right? So we have something that was predating actually having trackpads or touchpads on the laptop itself. And who needs one of those at this point? So let's take a look at the back. We have a little access door again. Everything is very modular, or I guess concealable. So we have our serial port, 9-pin serial. Hey, do an OLED swap. Santa Claus, that would be so interesting if we could do some crazy mod like that. But I would love to do that. Yeah, I would love to do that. So we have our 9-pin serial port here. We have a 15-pin VGA port here. We have 2 PS2 ports, one for the keyboard, one for the mouse, that seems pretty cutting edge to me. I don't know. And then we have our 25-pin parallel port, which is for printers and scanners and things like that. Now, this seems like this had a lot more peripherals than a machine from 1990 would. The original price was $3,400. So this door right here is our modem cover, and so there's actually an insert that goes in here that blocks it. I have it in the other room that blocks it, so if you don't have the modem card installed, but you can see the modem card is not installed, but it does go down in here. And I believe, I can't remember, but I was thinking it was like a 14.4 modem, dial-up modem. If someone can confirm that, I'm not 100%, but that is what I think that thing used, was a 14.4, but maybe went to a 33.6. That would have been pretty high end at the end of, what, 90, this is 91, so maybe this machine was in service for 3 years or something. Because you couldn't put 95 on this thing because it didn't have a math coprocessor, but maybe if you put that in there, it would work. I don't know. Has anyone loaded 95 on a machine like this? I think it was shipped with DOS and then 3.1. It has a floppy drive here, and then here's our battery bay. And the battery is not populated, but I do have the battery. I have a battery. This is not the one that came with this machine. This is the battery from my machine, and it is a 8.4 volt NiCad battery. Feels like kind of an RC car battery. It's really heavy, and it's 8.4 volts. I wonder if I could take an RC car battery and build it into this. That'd be pretty interesting to try. I don't know. And then let's see what else. What other specs it has? 2200 milliamp hour by 2. Would that mean that it's, say, 44 milliamp hour? Unless it's in parallel, and that means it's 22. Will it run 95? No problem. It will run. Well, if you had a math coprocessor. If it doesn't have a math coprocessor, you can't install 95. That's just the end on that conversation. But so we have a battery. I doubt that's going to work. I doubt it does anything. Oh, did you notice that? Symmetrical Dell logos. So it doesn't matter which way you hold it, the Dell logo is there. And the machine's kind of symmetrical too, right? You've got mail. All right, so let's turn this sucker on. So what we'll need is a power supply. And who has a power supply for this? Does anyone? I don't have a power supply for it, but what I do have is a wire. So I have a wire that I had found that plugs into it, and then I have a power supply over here. So we're going to plug it into this. Let me get all these wires out of the way here. So I have just a benchtop power supply that we're not going to put 19 volts in there because it runs at 12 volts. So we got to go all the way down to 12 volts. And this thing has a barrel jack and then just 2 wires and an on-off switch over here. Let's see. And let me see, where do my wires go? Here we go. We're gonna try to load DOS or 3.1 on it. One of the two. Archive.org to the rescue. So I'm just gonna plug in our power supply into that. And I have a little clip that I can do to the ground here. There we go. And then I'm just going to wrap this wire around this one because I have it like that. Okay, so our power supply is built. We just built the best power supply on the market. All right, I'm going to plug in the power. Plugged in and did something. Do we have it on already? Why is it pulling current? I haven't even flipped the switch on. So there's a little switch on the side here. So is there standby current, I wonder? Interesting. So we got 170, 180 milliamps. Now, if I saw that on a regular Dell laptop, I would say that there's a short on the board. But apparently that's normal, I guess. So let's go ahead and flip it on. I hear it spinning up. I hear the freaking hard drive spinning up from whatever year it is. And I see something on the screen. Let me see if I can get it focused here. Let's see, what can we do to make it where we can see better here? I can hear noises going on. I'm going to see if I can get us a good angle. Because I have this light here. Let me maybe turn that light off. There we go. All right, we'll just brighten this up instead. There we go, and we'll zoom in. How is that? You love the screen burn? So this is what I was kind of thinking is, yeah, it turned on, but there's some crazy screen burn going on. And so what I was thinking is that we should, and we have these adjustments here. I have this other panel here. I have another whole screen. I was thinking we could hook this screen up to it if it is better. And I wonder if I can plug in, oh, look at this. Looky. I'm gonna turn this back off. Looky. I don't know. This is the best invention I've ever seen. All right, so we have this access door. We have this wire that goes here. Well, look at this. We have the same wire here that hooks to this panel. So I can just set this on top and plug it in and see if this screen looks better. What do you think? CRT mode. All right, so always unplug your power, right? Unplug the power, and then we'll unplug the LCD connector, or whatever it is. This wire harness. Can't find a short. I hate spell check. Try it, do it. Oh, gosh, these things are secured in here. Okay, so coming out. It's kind of a tight fit. Let me set this over here. I just need pliers. Oh, it's like hot glued or something in here. You know, hot glue was a staple in building laptops back in the 90s. Maybe it's double-sided tape. I don't even know what this is. But yeah, look at this. It's so sticky right here. I can't even get it out of the corner. It's not really sticky, but it's like, I'm trying to pull the wire, but there's something here. Is it a cable tie? It is. It's a freaking zip tie or cable tie. You can see it cable tied all the way back in here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to try to cut that wire, unless I can just get this thing out of the way. I just don't want to bend the pins. Okay, I got it out of the way. Did I bend the pins though? Trying to get this thing out. Now I can't see because this light's not on anymore. Let's see if we can turn the light back on. There we go. Nah, the wires are fine. The pins are fine. I'm gonna cut this cable tie though, because that's who I am. Where we're going, we don't need cable ties. Okay, so the cable tie's out of the way. So yeah, it was totally like just zip tied around this hinge post or something. All right, we're just gonna unplug that. We're gonna try to plug in this other screen just for kicks. Now this screen doesn't look that much better. It has some sort of something going on here. I don't know if that's a crack or what, but who knows. We'll plug this guy in here. Now, what's horrible, like I wouldn't mind putting this one on there, but this one has broken latches here, so there's no latches to actually open and close the machine. This one has its latches, so I like the latches. I just don't necessarily like the way the screen looks. All right, can we get this plugged back in? God, I cannot see. Aha! Aha! We got it. We got it! Okay, so now let's see if this screen is like much better. We will see. Okay, so we're plugging in the power right now. Current draw, 180 or 179, resting. And we're flipping on our switch now. I hear the hard drive spin up, and we have definitely have picture. Now, it almost looks like, it looks better than the other one, but you guys can't even see it. Let's see. I'm going to tilt this thing, but it doesn't seem as bright, which is funny. Turn that light back off. Yeah, so it's almost like the backlight's not on, if there was a backlight. Is there a backlight on these? So the other ones seem brighter. And it has this, whatever, decay here. So I don't know. I think we should probably go back to the other screen. What do you guys think? This one's a little too hard to see. I mean, I could see it better, but it's just not lit up. And I didn't have the power plugged in when I plugged in the screen, so it's not like I blew out the backlight, okay? We should do an LED mod on this. So do you... I'm gonna go back to the other screen, I think. Is there an inverter? I mean, we could tear it apart and see if there's an inverter, but let's try to get where we're going. You can do the Game Boy screen mod. That would be funny. I bet this is a very basic connection, because the wires are, I mean, there's a whole wire harness here, but I think that controls, well, it goes into the screen. And, yeah, I don't know what kind of circuit board's in there. Yeah, I'm just going to hook this other screen back up just because I could see it a little bit better. Hook up a 4K monitor. Hey, we have VGA out, actually. We have VGA out. Let's just do VGA out. Duh. Okay, let me grab an adapter. Let's see, VGA adapter. Step right up and get your VGA adapter. I might need to run to my office. I have like a bunch of different adapters. So what would I need to do? Adapt it to a DVI and then to an HDMI? Something like that. DVI to HDMI and then... But I also bought that converter board that's HDMI to composite, but this thing doesn't have composite out. Or I could hook it to an external monitor. VGA, hold on. I'm just processing this in my brain. I guess I'm speaking it out loud, but or we can just try to suffer through this screen because it's not like the worst screen ever. But all right, let me plug it back in. Let's take another look at it and see how bad it is. What we got? We met a goal. Awesome. 1,600 followers on the old Twitch. Yeah, the backlight's definitely on this thing. And contrast. I wonder if that's just a film. What do you think is making that shape there? Well, that's definitely brighter. So, enter new date and time. So, do you know if it knows what year it is and all that stuff? Enter new date and time. Can you guys see that? It says it right there. I wonder how contrasty I need to make this. Yeah, I think I'll need to get a VGA cable. Oh, it's heat damage. You think it is? Can't be. Sunspot. So polarized. It reminds you of your first learning laptop. Okay, so this says MM-DD-YY. And that's the Y2K problem in a nutshell there. Okay, so we're doing month. I'm just going to do 1-1. I don't really care. Let's see. Or should we actually try our real date? Does it want me to actually put a dash? 01 dash 25. Is it going to think it's the year 25? No, wait, or 26. Year 26. Invalid date and time. All right, should we put 1991 then? 01 dash 01 dash 91. Okay. It liked the time just fine. I mean, it liked 1991 just fine, but 25, it doesn't exist. Uh-oh, the backlight's starting to spaz a little bit. Or do I not have enough current here? No, I have my current turned up. Okay, so... God, this is pretty flaky. Yeah, we might have to get a screen for it. Okay, so we're in DOS. Do you think Windows is installed on this already? Nope. We have a bunch of stuff on here. So how do we get the current version of DOS that's on this hard drive? Ver or something like that? There we go, Ver. DOS 5.0. Says it right there. All right, so can we run Windows, can we install Windows 3.1 on top of this, or do we have to do a fresh install? I do have some Windows 3.1 disks. Or should I pause for a second and go get a VGA adapter and wire this into the computer? I feel like it would be a little bit more comfortable for me to work on. And then you can see better. You see a Windows folder there. Can you? Where is it? This is really hard to see, people. VGA adapter, please. Okay, let me run. I got to run to my office, which is on the other side of the building. I'll be right back. The audio might cut out for a second, but just hang out. I got to dig through a pile of adapters here. I don't know if I have something going from VGA, darn it, something from VGA to not VGA. I have things going to VGA. There's an HDMI. Yeah, this adapter I have here is the wrong direction. Okay. We might just need to use a VGA monitor instead. And that could work, because I do have a VGA monitor. Okay, so I did not anticipate us having to deal with this, because I thought that one of the screens would work. We can open up the other one and try to fix the freaking backlight on that. This backlight's about to die itself. Yeah, it's probably a cold cathode fluorescent lamp. What if we drilled a hole in the back of the screen and put a light in the back of it? What if we just like cut it right here and just put a light back here? Then we'll be able to see just fine. You have original 311 floppies. Hey, any thoughts on the RAM crisis? The thoughts on the RAM crisis is it's definitely a crisis. But the cure for high prices is high prices. So, yeah, all the AI companies buying all that stuff up, they're just putting money to work just to up their balance sheets, and so it's all just a shell game. And at some point, they're going to stop buying, and everything's going to come back down. So that's what my thoughts are. Install Linux. Can you install Linux on an old machine like this? That would be awesome. Let's see, reboot it, and then run dir. So I'm in, but that's where I am. I'm in dir right here. So if I dir, let's just see if we can go to cd space Windows. I did cd Windows, and it didn't tell me the directory didn't exist, but it also didn't take me in there, unless it's not telling me where I am. Oh, I guess I am in Windows. Now I can run Win. Oh, I'm missing a sys. Okay, so I went to the Windows directory. It's weird because it doesn't tell you what path you're at. It just says you're on C. It doesn't say C Windows anymore. And then I ran a list command, or directory list command, and I can actually see the win.com file where it is. No, that's win.ini. You guys can't see anything because I can barely see this. So as far as I can go in there. But I don't see win.com. I see win.ini, unless this is, Can I make it better? Okay, win.exe. So I have to write the whole thing. It's not win.com and it's win.exe. So win.exe is a bad command. So let's do win.com. Because those are com files back in the day. I remember it. Unless I'm completely out of my freaking mind. Win.com. What is it saying? Windows, that location, the directory specific. Yeah, so it needs a sys-i9. That's the same error I was getting when I just ran win, right? Yeah, so same. So win.com is the file. So I was correct on that, not win.exe. It's not in it. The file that starts Windows 3.1 is win.com, which is weird, right? Or you can just run win, but it's missing a sys file. You can ask ChatGPT. I'm telling you right now. Everyone's saying win.exe. Win.exe is not in this freaking directory here. So, so config. Yeah. So where's our config.sys file? That should be on the root, right? Which is cd dot. Wait, how do you go back? cd slash? cd dot doesn't work. cd slash cd slash. Okay. dir. Okay, so yeah, we're back out. So it's cd slash to go back instead of cd dot. All right, echo device echo heim config.sys. Okay, here. This is hard for me to see this keyboard. Let me hook a keyboard to this. So I grabbed this. I went and dug around before the stream, and I found this guy. This is a PS2. It has a PS2 keyboard and mouse built on here as a trackpad and a mouse. So that way I can just hook it up and not have to sit there and use the other keyboard. So let me plug that in. And then maybe that will make it easier for me and you and me. Keyboard, mouse. Okay. Oh, now it doesn't want to plug in or balance right. But maybe I have a better viewing angle now. Let's see. Okay. All right, so what am I doing again? Here, let me go back to where that command was. We're looking for, can you put that command in there again? You guys are writing so much stuff. Leisure shoot Larry. My brain is not being able to read some of this stuff. Okay, missing path. So we need to set the path again, but we need to find where the path is. But where is that command that somebody wrote in here a second ago? That was about to type and then it went away. Prompt. Is there a way to, there's no find in this, right? So we're not gonna be able to find. It's like you can't just do dir and then the name of the file, can you? Can you do dir and the name of the file? Dir and then config.sys. If I write it correctly. Config. No file found. Okay, so it didn't find the file. Directory w/p. That's just making it wide. Okay. And then on pages. dir a. What's the a command do? I can't see what it's saying. My brain doesn't see it. No file found. Okay, no file found. Config.000. I mean, here, can we just put it on there? I have a floppy disk right here. We have 3.1. Let's just load it on there. So here's my disk 1 right here. We can just copy it over, right? Do you have a VGA monitor somewhere? I do. Yeah, I can grab the VGA monitor. If this is just too much of a nightmare for you guys, let me just grab that. We'll get that set up. I'd rather it be a little clearer for everyone myself because this is a nightmare for me. Let me grab that monitor. Let's see, I have to unwire it. It's all plugged in here. Fun. It's plugged way back in there. Let me see if I can find a different VGA monitor because that one's all wired in. Oh man, there's so many of them in this building though. I'm gonna go into my warehouse and dig around for a second. There's that monitor. Okay, here's a couple. I don't want one that's too big either. Try to find like a 15-inch or something. Would be nice. 15-inch monitor. Come to my attention, please. All right, here's a kind of a, this one's a 17-inch. Just take it off the stand. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. All right, this one just plugs right in the wall. I hate whenever a monitor takes somewhere extra, like charger or something, or an extra connector. All right. We'll see how this monitor works. Okay. Now I just need a power cord and a VGA cable. And then Bob is your uncle. I don't know who Bob is, but you're my uncle, buddy. All right, we'll see how this one works. Is there a circle on the screen now? When did that thing show up? When did this circle show up? What the hell? What in the wide world? Did you see that happen in real time? Okay, well, I had a circle, so I think a screen's on its way out. All right, let me turn this thing back off. I don't have to shut it down, right? I just flip the switch. I think that's all we need. This is the spinning circle of death. Yes, slowly. Bellissimo. Okay, so here's our monitor I grabbed from the warehouse. Very dusty. What I like about it, has a VGA connector, has just a regular power plug, and I can just plug it in. I'm hoping it's gonna work, because it is on our monitor shelf of despair, or whatever, where we just pile up a bunch of monitors that we're not using anymore, or that were never used. And of course I chose the shortest power wire there was in existence. So let me grab another one of those. It's longer. Don't plug it in. Don't plug it in with it on? Really? Are you kidding me? Okay, I turned it off, and I'm gonna unplug the power. But that's pretty interesting. So a VGA, does it actually have power that's gonna bother it? All right, here's a longer power cord. Okay, here we go. Oh. All right. Got that. Now what? Now what do we need? Now what do we need? VGA cable. Does anyone have a VGA cable that they can just hand over to me, please? Luckily, I have a warehouse full of just junk everywhere. So here's a VGA cable that we're going to hook up to this thing. Command prompt. Nathan, use $P, $G. All right. Remind me that in a second, okay? I will try any prompts you guys want me to type in, but I'm going to make this like a server we're going to put on the ground, and I'm just going to have everything wired up to the desk here, and I don't even have to have this thing on the desk. But then people are going to come in from the thumbnail and be like, where's the laptop? Where's that laptop? Maybe I'll have a separate camera that sits on there. Hey, I have an extra camera. I can do that. 640 by 480 resolution max. Well, I think this thing should do 640 by 480. Try VGA. I am doing VGA. That's what we're doing. Okay. All right, so we have that hooked up. We got that hooked up. Okay, I don't know where to put this freaking laptop now. Get this stuff out of the way. Okay, I'm running out of desk space. I need more space. I need more space. Because I can't turn this thing on. Here, I'll put this like that. The monitor turned on. We have picture! I can't believe! Okay, I'm gonna put this right here. My dual monitor setup. Cool. And then we have power. Goes here. This is not crazy at all. Here, you guys can get a wider angle of what I'm working on. Okay, so here's all my stuff I got going on here. Okay, we're having fun now. All right, so let's see how it turns on. Picture. Waiting for picture. I don't have a picture yet. Over here even. Do we need to change inputs? We have picture! I can't believe! Okay, so we're good. This is so much better. You guys are on point with that for sure. All right. Okay. Okay, so we're good. Now we're cooking with gas. Here, maybe what I want to do, I'm actually gonna, let me do this. Just because let me see if I have this. Hey, thank you. How old is your chair? It's pretty old. I don't know. That's pretty funny that you're asking me that. Yeah, it's old. The arms are all falling apart, and I don't know. It was not even a chair I ordered. It was just a chair I found in the warehouse. If I'm looking for something, it's in the warehouse. That's all I do. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't even have the answer to that, which is funny. Okay, so we're going to do the same date as before. It kept the date and time. Did you notice that? How about cleaning the screen? You guys don't like the dust on the screen? Come on, people. You guys are... It just shut off. Did you see that? I don't know. I can't do instant playback, but if I could, I would. Did you see the power supply? It went down. It dropped down to 5 volts, and I heard the hard drive just so it just like die, it just stopped. And so I just unplugged it real fast because I don't know what's going on here. So yeah, I can dust this off. You guys are so demanding, but I think our laptop just died. I can't believe. I can't believe. Well, I don't know what we're going to do here. I guess we might have to repair it. I wasn't prepared on fixing anything today. I heard a pop on... Yeah, well, I heard it was like the... whatever you call it. What are those things called? On the hard drive, I heard it just go like that. So... To me, it sounded like it was just like parking the heads is what I was looking for. It sounded like it's parking the heads, but I don't know. We're going to do the smell test. You know what we didn't do? We didn't even test to see if there was like bad capacitors in this thing. We could have just had a capacitor that went. Yeah, it's burned. Well, that was fun. What do you think? Let's see. I'm going to unplug the monitor in case the monitor had anything to do with it, because the monitor's hot. I'm going to unplug. Maybe, do you think that this monitor having something in the back and it was having to supply a picture? I don't know. I mean, I doubt that thing had anything to do with it. Had half an internal power supply, doesn't it have? Yes, because there's like, and I'll show you the internals of this. Here, we have one right here. So here is a 320N that's taken apart. Uh-oh, I'm lagging. Am I lagging for you guys? It's lagging for me. Is it laggy? Because I can barely... Yeah, okay, it's lagging. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. What do we have? Now my computer's glitching. Do I have CPU spikes? I don't have any drop frames, but I'm trying to see if I have a CPU spike or GPU spike. I'm not having any of that. Okay, I guess we're better now. All right, so here you go. Here's our the internals of a 320N. And this is the board that was bad on this one. This is the power board. And that's what smells like just blew up on this one too. But you can see the rest of the boards here, what we were doing. This is where we plugged in the LCD screen. This is where the CPU is and plugged in and upgrades. So hopefully this board didn't just blow up, but this does have capacitors on it. So for all we know, we had some leaking capacitors. So we had some LLC. Oh my gosh, fixed. I can't believe. All right, let me plug this back in. But I'm going to lower the current down. So we have it at 12 volts, and I'm going to lower the current down to just something anemic. I just want to see what it does. So we're probably have like, I don't know, what do we have the current at? Current's still pretty high. Let's see. All right, so we're put the current at like 200 milliamps, right? Because that's what we were having as a resting current. All right, so our current's at 200 milliamps. I'm gonna plug it back in. Let me get this monitor out of the way. See, now I went through the process of getting a monitor, doing all this other stuff, and then now we're not even able to use this thing. Okay. All right, so supposedly this thing blew up. So I did unplug the screen. A big tantalum blew up, an electrolytic blew up. I'm hoping nothing blew up. How's that? Because that's super annoying. Turn on this. All right. Oh, I can smell it. It smells weird. I mean, it doesn't smell like fresh blown up, but it smells more like, it does smell like capacitor blew up. That is kind of what it smells like. It's like a chemically smell, not burn smell, but kind of smells like chemically. Is that right? Oh. A cap, okay. Well, then that's a good thing, right? Caps smell different, you know. I mean, did I freeze again? I keep feeling like I'm freezing, but maybe I'm just not moving. Smells like finely aged ghost smoke. Okay, so I have 200 milliamps. We're at 12 volts. Let's plug it in. Right? And then we'll see how dead short it is. So I have the switch off. It's powered off right now. Or do you think I should lower the voltage? Smells like fish. Electrolyte smells like fish. Yeah, I could see that. Sushi-ish. A little bit of sushi. No, Greg doesn't want me to plug it in. Send it. Hi all. Have a polarized cap. Put it in backwards. Oh yeah, it smells like that. Nate's radioactive now. Leave it. All right, so you don't think I should actually try to, but we'll have to open it up then. Open it. Okay, we're gonna open it. So now we have to fix this computer. I think it's right. If I don't, we saw it sitting there at 5 volts, so we automatically did know that it was, you know, not doing good. So, so let's go ahead and open it up and take a look inside. And the bottom is off. Now, it's not that easy to take these apart. That's why I wasn't looking forward to it. So we did have a secret screw here, I believe, too. Let's see. We already took one apart, so it makes it easier. Yeah, secret screw there, secret screw here, secret screw there. So let's get going on that. Should I just use one of these guys? 1 in a million screws. Now, the common thing that you should do is always check your capacitors before you turn on some antiquated machine. I bet a bulk capacitor went dead. So if you want to look at this while I'm taking this apart, so here's this is the board that probably blew up, and there's 1, 2, 3 capacitors I can see on there. 4, there's one right there. And then we have a couple of those high-pass capacitors, but those are the only electrolytics I can see. These aren't bulged, but we should be able to see a bulged one. Hey, we have a donor board. Please don't forget he's the intro. Oh, right. Let's do the intro. Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let me move my monitor now that's at my feet in my way. Okay, there we go. All right, new day and another laptop that needs to be saved, and this time we have a Dell 320N. Now, this laptop was from 1991. We turned this thing on, it actually was working momentarily, and then it shorted out, shut itself off. Now I smell something. So I've already taken a look at this, but let's open it up and see if we can take a look together and repair this old vintage laptop. There you go. How's that? Let's go. Nailed it. That was pretty good. You know, and it's like, again, when I'm saying it, I'm like, okay, what am I going to say next? I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just kind of freestyling it. All right, so we're going to take these things out. Go, Nathan, go. Well, let's see how fast I get this thing apart since I've done it before. Because I've already taken apart one of these before in my life. So what's two of them? Nate, you need some of 80-year-olds to do it. Yeah, we grew up in these things. That's right. Where's time for an hour-long commercial break? Oh, gosh. Sorry, Root. Okay, so we got those out. Those are the only 4 screws. Actually, we can examine our other guy here. Let's examine him. So this guy had 4 screws here, those things there. And then I believe we were able to lift the keyboard off, right? Is it that easy? Is that easy? Or do we have screws in the back too? Oh, I smell it. Oh, I smell it. She smells bad. She smells bad, Jim. Take this door off here. Stinking ads. Stinking ads. So it's funny on Twitch, it's like Twitch makes you play ads and you don't make any money on ads. Like I think I'm making $1.60 a stream or something on ads. It's like a waste of everyone's time. They're making money. I'm not making any money. So I don't really understand it. Okay, secret screw. There was a secret screw I remember. Don't you remember? It's down here. Right? Was it down the hole? It was down the chute. And I think we just ended up breaking it out. Let's examine here. Yeah, so I think there was a bracket here or something that you have to like stick your screwdriver down here and unscrew in order to get the center undone. And, oh yeah, here we go. So you can see right here, there's a bracket right there in the middle. That's the super secret screw, not just a regular secret screw. So we're gonna get that done, which is right yar. So this one, it's way down there. They want me to have a go-go gadget screwdriver. Your 12-volt power supply is 1 amp. My 12-volt, my power supply goes up to 5 amps, barely. Whatever it takes. Not even worth the use for that. I hate Twitch, yeah. You know, but we got a multitask, multi-stream. Is it coming off a lot easier? Let's see. Okay. Okay, come on. Is it snapped now? What do we got? I feel like it's snapped. Okay, there we go. It's just snapped. So 50 watt output max. Yes, something like that. All right, so this is our, I guess we could modify and put screens together and all that stuff. So, all right, the keyboard plugs in, has 2 different ribbon cables that connect together. Here's our power supply board that I believe is probably what just blew up. So let's pull this guy off of here. How does it go in there? Plugs in like that. I think it just plugs in. But does it have a screw? It's held in right there. Yeah, my bench power supply is the one that does that. So this one right here, this cheapo one, you can get on Amazon, and I put an AC adapter sticker on it because that's what it really is. But it goes up to 30 volts or something like that. I barely use this thing, ever, because I'm always using this for my voltage injection, This thing goes to like 3 volts, but it will put up like 40 volts or 40 amps through it or something crazy. And then I use this one for actually powering the machines. All right, so we got our power supply board out. And doing the smell test here. It doesn't smell. So does that mean that the power supply board's fine, but our motherboard died, and we have another motherboard, so we're good to go, and we can continue on? Is that what that means? Or maybe the hard drive died. I don't know. I'm not smelling anything now. Did the screen die? Wait, that's the old screen. Oh, the screen died. It was a screen. The screen died. That's funny. Yeah. Woo. Ooh-wee. What's up with that? What's up with that? Okay. Yeah. Well, we took it apart. So which board was what now? Is this the good one? We will test. Let's get 12 volts up on our thing here. I should be able to plug this in without having it in the machine. Just test it. So we've got 12 volts. All right, it's off. Plug it in. Nothing. Turn it on. We got something. Okay. We did this other power supply board with it off. We got 0.05, turn it on, we got nothing. It doesn't do anything. So this is our good power supply board. Screen is high voltage. If it blows, it takes out the whole power supply. So do you think this power supply could be done? The dishes could be done, man? Well, I hope not. Let's plug it in, see if the machine powers on. We don't need that screen because we have another screen. You know what I mean, man? Okay. All right, I'm just going to plug it in now in stages. So now we'll plug it in again. Got it powered off. Off. Okay, resting current. I like the resting current. Looks good. Flip the switch. Hard drive spinning up. Looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good. Well, do you guys want to do a little gander around the board real quick, just because we have it open? Let me turn my microscope back on. It's booting up. Or is it? Or is it booting up? Brittle plastic. It's not as brittle as I would think, actually. All right, so we have... Okay. So the coprocessor... What do we have this jumper for? What do you think? So there's the coprocessor. Here's our RAM. And that's our VGA, I guess. I don't know. And then here's our 386 SX20, so 20 megahertz. What is that, graphics? Power board is good, caps should be fine. I think they're all fine. Although we didn't look at the caps. Let's look at the caps because that was the thing. Oh, we can finish going around the board too. I keep getting distracted. But so here's this other area here. I'm assuming that this is just for like handling the keyboard inputs or sound or something. Look at that CMOS battery. Thing is wicked big. Bloody CMOS. And it kept our date and time after we set it. So something's going on there. But I don't see anything else, any capacitors here. So there's this one. That looks okay. That looks okay. And then I'm going to check the power supply board. Let's look at these. SX is slow. That's what SX stands for. So we're looking, these are electrolytic capacitors. These kind of act as little mini batteries in a way. And they are polarized, and you'll see bulging whenever they get aged. And they look okay. All those look okay. Do you concur? Hey, I just noticed something. This is our other board. It's a different version. What does that mean? I have no idea. But so here's the original board that I have, and then this is this one. So what is this top board, junction board that was put on here? Everything else looks about the same. But we had an extra little board put on here. Oh, this one has a diode across the input. There's the, no, there's some Zener's there. I don't know. I don't know why that thing's added on here, but this one doesn't work anyway. It's almost like it was a more of a prototype, because you can see that this stuff was added on here, even though it didn't have it here. So, I don't know. I don't know. But it looks like it was all hand soldered is what it looked like to me. Backlight driver, it's inside the screen. Whatever it is, I can smell it just coming out of the screen. So I mistaken it for the being inside the computer itself, but it was just the cables. So first computer was a Cyrix M2 266. My first computer I owned myself was a K62 300. So it was like basically a Pentium 2. But my dad had a computer and stuff. I'm just saying the first computer I owned myself. Remove the CMOS battery, please. Poor favor. Yeah, I can do it. You guys want me to take it out so it doesn't explode? Ah, come on. There we go. Got that. Velcro. The Velcro still works after all these years. Oh man, I remember the K62 450. Yeah, because you can overclock those, right? Or the K6s. Have a Hammer video card, sound card. Okay, here we go. Here it is. I'm taking this out. This is a 270 milliamp hour, 4.8 volt. I don't know how many cells it is. Can't tell. I think these are, how long are these cells? Is it to there? So 4.8, so it might be 1.2 volts each, and they're like this big, so 4 cells. The VIC-20, I have a VIC-20 right under the desk right there. I actually got it all working. But I got to replace those keys in order to get everything working. All right, so should we just put this other display on here since this is the display that doesn't explode? The backlight doesn't work, but I'll leave the screw back in here. And then we'll continue on with our loading 311. Or 3.1. I don't know why I want to say 3.11. Maybe that's the version I got was 3.11. And I know there's 3.5.1 if you want to have the server version. Because at my old place I used to work at did 3.5.1. I'm just going to use an external display. Do you think I should just keep it open like this then? Sure. It just doesn't look, aesthetically it doesn't look as pleasing. So I was just going to hook these on here, and that way, if when people tune in, they can actually see that there is a computer, not just my thumbnail, and then they come in there and I'm working on something else. So let me at least have the computer running. No bait and switch, no clickbait, please. There's a button on this power supply. It's kind of weird. I don't know what that button's for. It's like a little momentary button. Raw dog it. Raw Dog Repairs. We'll just change the YouTube channel to Raw Dog Repairs. LLC. Create a new corporation. This is kind of hard. You got 2 ribbon cables. Which one do you do first? The inside one? Okay. And then the outside one. Keep catching your videos on YouTube, and somehow never occurred to me to look you up here. That's funny. Well, welcome. Welcome. I'm glad you got it figured out. All right. Should put this door back on here. Okay. I feel like it's partially enough together for me to be satisfied. So I'm going to leave the screen unplugged maybe. What do you think? Because I don't want to actually blow out this screen too. But I'm assuming that backlight was getting a little janky or something. Wish I had some bacon to go with all my eggs and toast. That's a dilemma. That's a dilemma. Oh my gosh. Why? Why? Why don't you want to go in place? This is the best videos on YouTube. You're addicted. Jeffrey, I don't know if I'm the best. No, I don't. I know I'm not the best, but I appreciate the compliment. I'm just doing the best I can. New day, new laptop to repair. And what do we have here? It's a 1991 old piece of crap that nobody wants. Let's see if we can make it work. I'm about to throw this thing because I can't get this thing to pop on here. Oh, get in your home! It doesn't want to step on there. Get in your home. I'm about to do something very, very drastic. Do you think this is a different version and it doesn't snap on the same, or what? Oh, wait. Okay, the bracket goes there. Okay, maybe... I would not take it. I love old laptops. You love old laptops. Okay, I think I figured it out. There's this metal bracket that has to go down this little slot. Get in your slot. There you go. And just be quiet after you get in your slot. Number 2, time for a hammer. Whew. You know what today is? Today's February 1st, everyone. You know what that means? I have been without candy for a month. Cakes, cookies, everything. I have been out without alcohol for a month. Every single day, I have at least rode 7 miles and exercised every single day for the last 30 days. And so today was a day I didn't wake up and ride 7 miles, and I didn't, I'm gonna have bourbon tonight, and I'm gonna have some candy tonight. That's what today is. That's what today is. Am I feeling better? Yes, I am feeling, it's interesting, it's not as pronounced as I would think it would be, right? So if you think, okay, I cut out all sugar, I should feel like $1 million, or I cut out alcohol, I feel like $1 million, and I'm exercising, I should feel like $1 million. But for the first, oh, and a cigar, I haven't had a cigar in 30 days either. And but the difference is that the first couple weeks, I was still waking up with a headache, like I was kicked in the head, like I had been drinking the night before or something. But it took a couple weeks for that to go away. So one thing that I do have to say is that exercise every morning was something that I started looking forward to because of the way I felt the rest of the day. And so if I didn't do it in the morning, I had to do it at night because I was doing it every single day. And I would notice that I wasn't as perky, I wasn't as like, on top of my game by not doing that exercise in the morning. So I didn't exercise this morning, so I'm a little bit not full energy. But anyway, so so tonight I'm gonna be able to, indulge in something, and maybe have a cigar, maybe have some candy. No withdrawals. No, I don't drink enough to have withdrawals, so that's not the big deal. And it wasn't even like it was just kind of like, let's just see what I can do. So I lost 8 pounds. I went from 194 to 186. I slimmed up a little bit, and my neck slimmed up and things like that. I've started doing like a lot of upper body workouts and stuff like that too. So I'm going to keep up with all that stuff. And I ate salads, but basically my main diet was like try to eat a lot of protein and try not to eat a lot of things that are sugar, like breads that had, that turn into sugar type of thing. So, but yeah, so I ate a lot of like Chipotle bowls or stuff like that, where it's like meat and lettuce and, some rice and stuff like that. But that was my main diet, but I wasn't really dieting. It was just kind of like, just being conscious of what you're eating is more or less what I was doing. So anyway, let's plug this all back in again. Actually, I'm just going to see if it fires up on its fly. Like here, we got our voltage right. Current, resting current. Wait, the resting current's not correct now. But it turned on nevertheless. The resting current was different than before. I don't know what changed that. And our screen... Oh, that's right, I wasn't going to hook this screen up, was I? I think the whole screen circuit blew out. So I'm just going to take this off of here. Yeah, so I think the whole screen circuit blew out on this motherboard because there was no picture still with that. So let's make sure that... Oh, is it work with no CMOS? We just took the CMOS out of there. All right, let me get the monitor back up here. It's a big old giant thing. Oh my gosh, this thing is huge. It's huge, man. Okay. Oh, I did not unplug the power before I plugged in the monitor. Did I just ruin everything? What kind of RAM I got? I got 1 mega RAM. Okay, we do have picture. We have picture! I can't believe! All right, so let me get everything set up so it's really easy for you guys to view, because that reflection is probably pretty bad. Let's see if we can take that reflection off of there. And maybe I can do this. And we'll brighten it up just a little. What do you think? What do you think? Is that going to do, or you need to go zoomed? If you want me to zoom, let me know. I'm going to hook these things back up. I think we're going to zoom a little bit. Wait. Can't tell which one's what. Mouse, keyboard. Okay. Mouse, keyboard. Okay, so we have the mouse keyboard hooked up. This one doesn't have 4 megs, it has 1, but you can go to 5, I think. All right, are we good on that? Does that look good? Okay. Will we be in? Okay. All right, so we're gonna set the date and time again. So what year is it? 1980, I like 1980. That sounds good. All right, so we did a DIR before. Okay, dir/p. It's the other slash, your other p. This thing actually has it where you can tab over, not tab over, but you can do a arrow over and it will refill in what you just did. Wait, win? I didn't type win. Did I type win just now? I don't remember typing that. Why is this not? The drive is Atom. Okay, so right now it's not telling me we're in the Windows directory, but if I do a dir, we are in the Windows directory. If I try to run win, we're getting, make sure the file is in your Windows directory, so the config.cfg. So now we're going to find our config file, and it's not found. Okay, so we have floppies. We have them somewhere. Here we go. So we should copy it over, or you want me to run, do you want to look and see what's all in there? dir/p. Okay, so we got setup.exe, so we could actually reinstall, maybe? We have, can we put it in alphabetical order? What's the alphabetical order directory listing? Is that A? C versus C. Oh yeah, isn't that interesting how the C colon, or it's a C arrow? Just let me know if you want me to make this bigger. Too. S is alphabetical? Yeah, right, like it's gonna have a man. Okay, so like, you think I can actually do question mark? I doubt you can. Oh, you can! Oh my gosh, this thing is innovative. Okay. Wow, future. The future is here. Okay, so we have P, displayed Y, directory hidden. Okay, sort by, list by. So is that Q or O? I can't see what that is. I can't. Is that a Q or an O? O colon N. Okay, thank you. O slash O colon N. O colon N. Should I do capital O? I feel like I could do a slash P also, but where's my? You can't arrow. It's so annoying. O colon N. Wrong slash. You guys are so picky with your slashes. Okay, so that's much better. Okay, so now we're going to page it instead. So let's go add a page command on there. Page. You know I'm just kidding with you, by the way. All right. Okay, so config.sys is... Sorry, I'm trying to move this over so you can see better. Config.sys is not... Oh, it's config.win is there, but config.sys is not there. Okay, so should we put it in there? So I have our floppies right here. We'll put a floppy in here. See if it reads it. You think the config.sys is in the root? Oh, sorry, I gotta get out of this. How do you command C to get out of that? Oh yeah, okay. CD slash. Okay. I keep wanting to type ls, which is funny. All right. Let's do, we'll do wide. That's WinWord. Config.sys backup. So someone has a backup, so we just need to rename it, you think? Because that's the original, right? So how do you rename a file? You guys, rename config. Okay, so rn config dot back to config dot sys. Rn, not ren. Okay, ren. Really? I've never heard of that command in my life. Okay. We have config.sys. I can't believe. Okay. Now we're missing some high memory. Should we just install fresh here? Does A work? Can we go to A? I just put a floppy in there with the installer. Okay. Well, that's not working. So what's high memory? Copy and paste it onto C. That's what I was thinking, yeah. If I can get this darn thing to load. It's like the floppy drive is whacked. Enable access to the high extended RAM. That's what that's for, but we don't have high extended RAM. We're not even using it. There's a config 000. Run that one, okay? Oh, wrong directory, sorry. Hold on, go back to C. Wait, we're in the wrong directory. Okay. Okay, config 000. So do you think that that one will be a better one? Forward, reboot. Oh, should I reboot? Wait, hold on. Install current installation is corrupt. You need a boot directory from a floppy either. Edit the config.sys. You didn't even use the high memory, so it's not even installed. It's not needed. I know it's not needed. High mem is there. It's in the other directory though, right? But look, autoexec.bat is actually in backup mode also. Do you notice that? So, how do you, can you edit autoexec.back? There's no edit in here, is there? But so autoexec.bat is actually in back mode instead. But so how can the config.sys get called if the autoexec.bat's not working? That's what I don't understand. Should I reboot? Okay, we'll reboot. Did I type edit just now? Oh, EIDT is not a real word. Oh, sorry, I have that floppy disk in here, and I can't get it out, because, of course, this floppy drive, I think, just broke. This machine's falling apart, I tell you. Update the BIOS. We need to flash it to the most recent version. Here, I can't get this thing out. Let's reboot this again, but I'll hold the eject. I mistyped it. Okay, I'm going to see if we can get this thing to boot off the hard drive again. Okay, it's booting off the hard drive. Okay, so we're back in here. So we'll just do this thing again. Okay, so we have our config.sys, and so you're saying I don't need the autoexec.bat to be named properly. You don't think that's even, or should we edit it like I was saying, if I should write it correctly? Edit, auto, exec, dot, and it's back. And then, isn't that what it says? Edit doesn't exist. We don't have an edit. Type config.sys. That won't do anything. Config.sys is not an executable. Unless I'm out of my element. I've used DOS plenty of times, so. All right, so we have the buffers high, files, buffer, shell device. So the hymen.sys, was that, we saw that in the, find hymen.sys path. That's for configuration. Okay, config.sys, we can edit the config.sys, but edit doesn't work, from what I can tell. So what do we use to edit with? Edit, come on, people. Set prompt to, so this person here, what does I want to ask people here? So we have this here. This message is coming up here by this guy. Just copy this, so prompt this. I don't know what this is. Is this, can we get a validation of that? I'm gonna try it, but. All right, let's just try this real quick. So do you use the word set? I've never heard of this command before. Set prompt equal $$P $G. You're bricking my computer, is that what you're saying? Okay, now what? It goes to root. Oh, does that mean that I can just run win whenever I want? No, that didn't work. Because path, I could set path to C Windows, right? And then I could just do that. Wait, no, path. Well, I can just say path equals and then type that in there and I can make it where it works. Okay. Yay, yay, prompt, prompt, prompt. Oh, man, this computer is old. Okay. All right, so let's go back to this. Yes, it's DOS 5.0, but we're trying to get Windows 3.1 to load, but there is some sort of issue with the 3.1. CD, so you want to go back to the CD Windows. Okay. Okay. You want me to do another DIR? Or do you want me to run Windows again, just to see if that works? We have picture! So the reboot fixed it. So when the config.sys was in backup mode, it wasn't going to work. So then we reloaded it and then restarted the computer. Hey! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's been a long time since I've messed with this before. For the win. Man, they have a lot of stuff in their startup. Let's put everything in my startup folder. What the heck are they doing? Do you really put all this stuff in your startup and then you're starting to dial up at the same time? Dude, you're not supposed to dial up right away. The modem's not in there, so it boots faster than Windows 11. Press cancel. Okay, I'm pressing cancel. I had to hit escape. All right, so we're not going on the CompuServe, right? So let me move this over. So CompuServe, I think they're out of business. So we're not going to be able to connect to them. It's funny, I'm looking at the monitor and trying to move the mouse and it's like very delayed. Here, I can do this instead. This is much better. Oh, we don't need to maximize that. Windows. Oh, darn it. Program Manager. Where's all the rest of it? Where does it keep all that stuff at? It's been a long time since I've used this thing before. Oh, there we go. You have to do that. Okay. This is like a Chrome book or something. Maximize it, and then everything just runs within this one window here. It's been hacked. 3.1.1 is the best and was the networking edition. Because you can do the token rings. Is that what you're talking about? Let's see if it has Doom on it. Or let's see if we can load Doom on here, right? It has SWAT. What's SWAT? We have chess. We can't even reload chess. Come on, people. We're going to do some sweeping of some mines here. The sweeping of the mines works. All right. Now, did I just minimize it or actually close it? Is this the close button over here in this corner? I can't remember. So you got word setup. CompuServe. So these are the installed programs. This is the startup folder. Does that close? Okay. We just double click on it to close it? Yep. Main. You can run Doom with an Texas Instruments calculator. RAM is maxed out. I wish it had like a little information area here. Doesn't really show anything. I can't believe this thing is working, but the screen ended up exploding on us. Doom, Wolfenstein 3D, Donkey Kong, incomplete install of Windows. You think it is? File and exit. That's what you have to do, right? File and exit. This thing's jumping around. What's this properties thing here? So winfile.exe. Okay. Last file opened. Okay. Control system. Control. Oh yeah, we have a control panel here. I can hear the hard drive crunching away. I wonder, the hard drive has to be from like that era. How big is our hard drive, I wonder? What, 30 megs? 20 megs? Is there a way to tell how big our hard drive is in here? Windows is fine, other apps not very much. WinChest package is not with Windows. You think it's above 100 megs? I don't know about that. Is there a way to look it up? Can you guys tell me? Can we get to a command prompt? Fdisk. Okay. Can we get to a command prompt in here? Or back to DOS? Do we just exit back to DOS and to do it? And then you run Fdisk? There's no way to run a CMD. We can open. We can open a CMD. Nope. Can't open a CMD. There's no Fdisk. File run did not work just now. Back to DOS. DOS icon. There's a DOS icon? Oh yeah, I see it right there. DOS icon. Use file manager. That's a pretty looking DOS window too. Looks pretty. So I don't think Fdisk does exist, but we can try it. Wait, FDISK. Okay, what's our path set to though? So just dir tells the size. Okay, so dir. See how much slower it is inside Windows? Like every time I move the mouse, it has to stop writing the screen. Check disk C. Right there, bytes. So 20 megs. Free. 80 meg. It's an 80 meg hard drive. I knew it was under 100, but it was more than my 10 or 20 megs that I thought it was. So 100 meg, 80 meg. Yes, 80 meg hard drive. All right, so let's see if we can get this floppy drive working, because I want to try to get a game loaded on it or something. I was actually thought we were going to load Windows on this thing, but I guess we don't have to because it worked. 900 people. Hey, while I'm trying to get this floppy drive out, can you guys press the like button on YouTube to try to get as many people on the stream as possible? Last week we did a record turnout of people showing up to the stream. We ended up with 1,500 people watching our stream last week. I don't know what's going on with this floppy drive. The door's messed up or something? There we go. All right, so let's go to archive.org and see if we can find a copy of Doom. I'm going. Here we go. Okay, archive. All right, so if we can find some Doom action, it'd be nice. Floppy. All right, so we have a Doom floppy disk here for, let's see, does it only take one floppy? How many disks is it? 5 files? Oh, I didn't mean to download it already. That's not it. Alien, Doom, Doom full version. Let's see. Maybe I should just try. I searched for floppy. Maybe I should just say Doom. Here, let me see if I can fix this here. All right, what should I search for? Wolfenstein? Wolfenstein and Igor. Wolfenstein 3D. Nice. Oops. Files. Show files. What do we got? Do we have an image file? Thumbnail. These are just pictures. $1993. That's a good search. Oh, 1993 version 1.4 software. All right, we have zip, but where's the... It's an EXE installer? You think this will work? Uh-oh, I'm pressing buttons. All right, let me move this keyboard out of my way here. Okay, let me get a floppy disk loaded in my machine. So I have one of these floppy adapters here, just USB, because I have crazy stuff sitting around my warehouse. And I'm just gonna grab one of these floppy disks and we'll see if we can load it on there. I don't even know if the floppy drive in this old laptop even works, but let's Doom. If you guys can tell me what to search for on Doom to try to find, that will work too. I never played either one of those games, so I'm not super privy to either one. Cannot access, needs to be formatted. Okay, let's format this thing. Yeah, you can usually bring up serial numbers and all that stuff on all these old software on the archive.org. Now you need a USB drive. We're going to format this. It had a 300 baud modem. So I was saying 14.4. 300 is even crazier. Prince of Persia DOS version? I played that. I played that on Mac. And King's Quest. That's what we should do, is King's Quest. Well, this disc doesn't seem to be any good. Let me grab another one. Let's try another floppy disk. Again, these are just floppies I found in my warehouse in some box. So I have no idea. This one's making some noise. There we go. That's the noise we like to hear. That's the noise I like to hear. I don't know if you can hear it. Like, it's really crunching some numbers. Leisure Shoot Larry had a cheat book with a highlighter. Anybody remember that? And, you know, I only played that maybe once or twice. God, this thing is really crunching some numbers. Dude, bro, it's a floppy disk. Go. Come on. It's cooking. Okay, look at all this files. Okay, so these are actually pictures. So I used to have an old Mavica. I don't know if you remember those. It was a digital camera that took floppy drives. And so that's the actual camera that we used to use to actually do all my product photos when I first started the business. And so these are actually pictures of a flood that I had, a pipe burst when I first started the business. And so for insurance purposes, I had these pictures. And I was saving these for just this occasion. But now I'm deleting them all. From 2005. Am I sad about it? No, I don't care. But they are pictures of the flood. Okay. And we don't need that one. Okay, so now we'll copy over our installer, which I find weird. Does it really have some sort of like installer? Seems strange to me. Just thinking about it. There we go. Yeah. Someone should make a song out of this. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the whole game would work on one disc, but I guess if you can load it like on a watch or anything, or those tiny, you know, it seems tiny enough. Has anyone opened a laptop? Is the warranty void? No, Dell, in the most part, Dell's not going to void your warranty because they actually have instructions on how to take apart your machine and service it and put like install RAM and memory and stuff like that. They will void it for things that are obvious. So if you did something obvious. So we've had laptops come in and then we see that's under warranty and we just close it back up and send it off and that's fine. We've never had an issue with that. So okay, so that's done. So back to our other computer here. I don't know if this is going to work or not because this floppy drive didn't work a second ago, so let's see if we can get this disk to go in. Okay, disk is going in nicely. Clicked in. All right, so now where do I go? Should we just go in here? Since we're in DOS anyway. Okay. Well, it kicked us out of Windows to try to read the drive. Oh, Alt F4. I use that still. The floppy drive is not happy. Okay, I'm going to shut this thing down because we have another floppy drive. We have a floppy drive right here in this machine. So I think we'll have to install that maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's a faulty drive, but we have another one. We have a donor. And we are going to make this thing work. So we'll just fail this and then I guess Control-Alt-Delete or just flip the switch off. Exit. Is exit a command? Okay. Do you turn on the floppy in BIOS? I mean, it's on because you can hear it. And so when I tried to access it, it failed. And it couldn't read it earlier when I tried. Test another disk first, so let's try that. So this disk, we just wrote to it, but I have a disk. I know this disk 1 of the 3.1, I had already loaded Windows 3.1 on it. So if I put that disk back in there and try to load it, let's see. I go to A. I can hear it start trying to spin it. It grabbed it, and it's just doing this noise. And then kicks out and says it can't read it. So I think the floppy drive's bad. Switch the drive out for another one, since we have another one, right? All right, let me just fail that. Exit. Fail. Abort. Control-Delete will quit the application. Okay. All right. Now I want to shut down. Is there a way to shut down or I just flip it off? Can't remember. Exit Windows. That makes sense. Okay. It is now safe to turn off your computer. Alt F4. Okay, we have it off. All right, so let's go ahead and replace the hard drive in this machine. I am running out of space here, though. So, all right, well, let's replace the floppy drive. I said hard drive, but floppy drive. Unplug the power, I know. Flip it over, turn it. Hope you let it on the internet. Oh, not putting this thing on the internet. I'll have to run it through a Unix server, apparently, and then I can connect it to the internet. Okay. Get this monitor out of the way. Okay. I feel like I'm running out of space here. I have a small desk area to work, or at least for my camera shot. All right, so we are lucky that we do have a donor machine that we're able to transfer or move over the floppy drive onto it. And we even have that other motherboard too that probably works. Oh, you know what? That would be easier. Instead of moving the floppy drive, should we just take, no, because then the hard drive is not moved. So regardless, we would have to move over a couple things. So I'm not really sure what we should do. So we open the bottom here. We have that power supply, because remember the motherboard blew out on this one, and so it can't display a picture anymore. And so we put this other screen on here, but then the motherboard's messed up. But this one has a motherboard that presumably works. It has a hard drive in it too, but I don't know if the Windows works. And then it has the floppy drive that works. Now it may be easy enough to change the hard drive out, but so we can just take this monitor, put it on here, put the power supply board in here, and use this floppy. I don't know. What's faster? Yeah, what's faster? Unbolting this and moving it over, or unbolting the hard drive and moving it over? Because we still have to take the whole thing apart regardless. Don't you fix Dells? This is a 1991 Dell. It's a 320N from 1991. Yes, so we do fix Dells. This is a Dell. It's just for fun, though. From 1991. Swapping floppies. Okay, yeah, that's probably fine. I'm fine with that. Move hard drive over for the proper board. All right, well, we'll get it open and we'll take a look. I don't know if there's 2 screws to take out the floppy, there's 2 screws to take out the hard drive. I don't know what the difference is here. Floppy swap, floppy swap. What I missed, the CPU, what CPU is this? 386 SX 20 megahertz. 1 meg of RAM, 80 meg hard drive. We got it booted into Windows 3.1. And now we are trying to get the machine to run Wolfenstein 3D. Or Wolfenstein, I guess. FAT16 reformat. Yeah. You might be onto something there. That's a good point. Let's take a look at that. Now, I don't know if I can do a FAT16. But yeah, before we tear this whole thing apart, I think you might be onto something. Let me see if I can pull that up. All right, so if we come over here to our floppy disk drive, if I come over to format, FAT, so it's just formatting to FAT16 because it's called FAT. So that would be FAT16. Do you concur? Because otherwise it would say FAT32. And this is a double density disk, so it's going to be 1.44 instead of 768 or whatever it is. So FAT equals FAT16. So we are already set to that. I'm pretty sure it is just a bad floppy drive. Pretty sure. So proceed, right? But now we know how to open this easily. Reformat it. Well, I did reformat it before we copy the stuff over. Do a quick format, skips bad sectors. Okay, all right. I know, you guys are so smart. You guys are so smart. Okay, so we're gonna do a full format while we're messing with this. So that's, capiche? So we'll do a format. We're gonna do a full format. We're gonna call this, what is it called? Wolfenstein. Start. There we go. And what did you say? I missed it. Missed it. Who's ring-a-ding-a-dinging me? Oh, Bell. Just sent you a floppy, or a zip of 4 floppies of the Doom on Discord. Thank you, Premise. Okay, Premise is on the case. So it's 4 floppies. Let me pull up my Discord real quick. Yeah, that's much easier to have someone else do that for me. Okay, so we have Doom. Oh, it's 5. Oh, it's a 4. So now we have the 4 discs here, thanks to our mod Premise over there on the old Twitchy Twitch. So, and does it have an automatic image writer? Or no, you just copy, you don't even have to like build it. It's not an image, you just copy it over there. It's supposed to be FAT12? What are you talking about? You don't be messing with me with FAT12. I don't know if I concur that. Can't concur, no FAT12. You're messing with my emotions. Is there really a FAT12? Do you even have space for Doom? Yeah, didn't we have like, how many megs did we have available? Let's see, it was 80 meg hard drive. I feel like we had like 20 megs or... Double density will not work on the computer. So we have Montgomery White is saying that the double densities are not going to work. Well, then what are we going to do? We're going to quit. But it formatted successfully. And now I will put it on the... So it didn't have any bad sectors, which is good. So let me copy it on there again one more time just to see if we can just read the disk. I don't know. I done there, but quick format probably was something weird, maybe. But yeah, you may be right. Double density may not work. So FAT12. FAT12 is for floppies. Okay, so anyway, it's a FAT12, not FAT16. But regardless, it should be fine, right? It's just the double density thing may be the issue. Format the floppy on the laptop. Well, the laptop can't even access the drive. Every time it tries to do it, it like errors out. For good's sake, use Wi-Fi. Yes, I'll plug in my Wi-Fi dongle into the back of this thing, into the USB port. Got a hype train started, guys, over there on Twitch. Make it so. Where's my scribe at? It needs 720 discs. Well, you know what? I don't have 720 discs, so 1.44s. Can I format a 720 to a 1.44? Gritty, thanks for the bits. For the hype train. Is there a way that you can... a double density disk has a whole top layer that needs to be formatted correctly. But is there a way to format it, like if you can... You can format a 1.44 as 720, not the other way around. Okay, so is there like a third-party piece of software that I can download? It needs a fuse. All right, so I got that done. I copied over there. I'm gonna try this floppy one more time. Although I have to hook the monitor back up again. But it doesn't work very well. All right, let's just change this floppy drive out because it will either work or it won't. And then if that doesn't work, then we can try doing the floppy formatting situation here. All right, so here's our floppy drive. And we're working blind, so I have no idea what we're going to do. Format AF720. Okay, let's try it. I like that. Okay, so we're going to take, let's see if I can pull this up. so let's open a, well, I just need a CMD though, right? Or does terminal work? I don't know if terminal's gonna work for this. Probably not. Let me do a CMD instead. CMD. All right, so we'll go CMD. Format A720. Enter disk when ready. Boo, Bobby is your uncle. Premise, you're on the case. Oh, all right, hold on. Parameters not supported on the drive. Put tape over the hole. The floppy needs to be recognized as a 720. Okay. This hole right here. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see. We're talking about this hole right here, or this one. So this is the write protected or not write protected. Is that the hole? Yes, specifically drive within the laptop is wrong. So the open hole. All right, let's put some tape over there. Should we go high dollar capped on tape, or should we do low price of some Scotch tape? I'll do Scotch because that's what I'm gonna have tonight. No, I'm gonna have a bourbon tonight. All right, so we're gonna put some tape over that hole. So now we just turned it into a 720. Do you think it's an optical sensor? Oh, I guess it could be an optical sensor, huh? So it probably needs to be I have foil tape. Let's see what we got. Paper. I could have put paper over it. I could shove something in the hole. Black tape. Ah, the old Blackie. I got Blackie. Electrical tape. You think it's a mechanical sensor or an optical sensor? For this age, because the tape, I mean, the thing goes like that and kind of drops down in there, so it could sit on there, but in case it's optical and sending like a light sensor through there and it's trying to see something, I'm just going to put a piece of tape on here like this. Now, I don't want it to come off in my machine or in the floppy drive. So do you think the floppy drive's fine and I shouldn't try swapping this? We should boot it back up again since we're already in the process of messing with this. There we go. All right, so looks beautimous. Looks factory. It's a factory 720. You should have had one bourbon, one Scotch, and one beer so far. I almost thought about doing an Irish coffee this morning because I have some good Jameson that whenever I went to the Middleton factory in Ireland, I bought a bottle of Jameson that I poured right out of the cask. So I have cask strength just straight out of the, yeah, anyway. And so I was like, I can just make a little Irish today, but I didn't do that. Because it's been 30-something days without any alcohol. Okay, I'm just going to put it back together. Actually, we're not going to put the top on it because we don't need the top on it. All right, let's do that. I think we know where we're going. Black Barrel. Black Barrel's good too. Oh, shoot. Okay, put it back here. Okay, oh yeah, we're going to try to format that again. Duh. All right, so now we have the tape, the floppy drive in here. Get ready, go. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. So I put the floppy back in there, and then I just ran the 720 format command again. And it's thinking, it didn't error out as fast. So we'll see, but it's not doing its little noise here. Technically you could, but the ID instead of the SATA, the ID and SATA adapter, only one is good. Okay. File type is raw. The new file system is FAT, formatting at 720. Hey Nate, if you're serious about quitting liquor, my experience after the break is much worse and I end up drinking more than before. No, I wasn't quitting liquor. I was just doing 30 days without any alcohol, and I was doing exercise every day and no sugar and stuff like that. I don't drink very much anyway. I do generally have a drink every single day, but I only have like 1 or 2 at most. And so I've never drunk. I don't even know when the last time I had like a hangover or anything like that. But So yeah, it was just a dry January thing. Oh man, so okay, it still didn't work. Does anyone know? Does ChatGPT know what the hell is going on here? What if we did this, and then put that inside ChatGPT and see how much they know, because they're so much better than us humans, mortals. Remove the tape and format it again without options. What are we talking about? Every day equals alcoholic. That's funny. I thought drunk every day. If I have a drink before I go to bed, I don't think that's alcoholic. Okay. Format without the size rectification. But I want, oh, because you think it will automatically just know that's a 720? You think it will detect it? So it's verifying it as a 1.44. So do you think I should put the format without the tape and the size stays at 1.44? So, wait, invalid track it back. What? Okay, hold on. Let's go back over here to this frozen screen. Dave! I didn't know you were here. I didn't see you earlier. How you doing? This thing's erroring out here. I don't know why I can't even open it. What's going on here? Okay, hold on. Let me... I just put it back in. I ejected it, put it back in. Let's just see if that works. Floppies are known to be a waste. Okay, so floppy... Your hard drive is not supposed to use a hard disk drives. She's dead, Jim. She's dead. You need more power. Okay, we should try the format with 720 again. I want to get this thing so it's not frozen. I need a 5 1/4 because then I can actually get the right size, right? What if I put it in this? What if I put it in here and try to format it, or see if it detects it now? What if I just format it in here? Yeah, that will work. Let's try that. So let me boot this thing up. Do we have all our wires hooked up? I didn't even think about that because I know that you said it earlier, but it didn't occur to me that, it didn't occur to me that we didn't try formatting it. We just tried reading it. But if it doesn't like the way that it's written or whatever, or the size density, then we should be able to format it to the size density we want it to be, and then we may be able to read it in the other one. So could just be a bad disk. Well, we did format it sector by sector all the way through, and it didn't have an issue. So that's why I didn't think it was an issue with that. But okay. Can you guys see? Okay, you can kind of see. Gosh, this is such a pain to get everything set up for you guys. Okay, here we go. Your hard drive, or your drive may not support HD floppy disks. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can look this drive up for you here. So this is a, it's funny, I've had this thing for so many years. So many years. Why don't I have a picture? Because my VGA cable's not plugged in. And you said I can't plug this in with it on, right? So I have to shut it back down again? Okay. I didn't think that this thing would have voltage in it, but I guess it would. I don't know. Oh my gosh. There's a chance. And we might as well not chance anything at this point because we start going backwards more. Okay. It's definitely not hot swappable. Smash the like button, everyone. How many likes do we have so far on this stream on YouTube? Okay, there we go. Okay, change your old drive on your computer. I don't have a floppy drive on my computer. I just have one of these USBs that I've had this for a long time. 429. That's preposterous. We ended up with about 800 or 750 at the end of the stream last time. So that's pretty good. Look at all that RAM. Wait, did we have 3? We have 3 megs of RAM. Did you guys catch that? I thought we only had 1 meg of RAM. Interesting. F1 to continue. Is there BIOS in this thing? F2 to continue. All right, what was I doing? I'm formatting a floppy disk. So I'm going to put this disk in here. We're going to go to A. And then we try to read it. And it fails. Okay. So now, can we try to format it? It just has a read error. What does that mean? Who am I? Remove tape. You think of the tape, but that's, I've had the tape on there. Here, I have other discs. I have a stack of discs here. I can get this. This bezel's messed up, so it doesn't want to come out very well. Okay, so here we'll. So this is one that doesn't have anything on it. It's not write protected. Doesn't have. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. But here's one that more of the flood pictures here. Doesn't have the write protection on, and it doesn't have the sticker in there. Retry. And just goes and ends. That's it. C format A. So we should go back to C. So we'll abort that. We'll go back to C colon. Then we'll go to format A. I don't think it's going to work because it's still hitting it. Weird. No path set. Path equals Windows. Is that the right slash? Okay, so format A. It doesn't work anyway. No format on C. Set path equals, oh, set path. That's what I gotta do. Set path equals. So if I, let me see what path, so path is nothing right now, right? So path, no, it did write. It did set path. But there's still no format command. I don't understand. Anyway, I think this floppy drive is messed up because it's not doing anything. Anytime I try to do it, it goes, and then that's it. It doesn't do anything. So let's replace it like we were going to do because, you know, or since we don't have to take the whole thing apart, let's just take the power supply and put it in this one and see what powers up. This one may have an operating system on it too, for all I know. Format the DOS directory. I don't want to format our DOS directory. Force 720 by putting masking tape over the hole on the diskette. So that's what we did. We put electrical tape over it. Oh my gosh, I am stacking myself with a bunch of equipment here. You guys can't see, like, it's like I have so much stuff on me. I have keyboards on my lap, keyboards here, keyboards over there. Play Crysis on it. I bet it plays Crysis. That was the test. That was the test back in the day. All right, I'm going to use that power supply on this machine. Let's see if it works better. Muy bettero. All right, let's see. Okay. So let me just start out by plugging it in and see if it actually turns on. So you guys don't see a power meter. I'll give you the power meter. You want a power meter? I got a power meter for you. Got power supply. I'm going to bring down the voltage just a little bit. We don't want it too high. Okay. Did you guys see that? Now, hopefully our power supply is fine. Because a big pile of smoke just came out of here. And a pop. Oh yeah, it's over here. It's over here. Okay, so that motherboard is bad. We're done with that motherboard. This floppy drive is coming out. Holy crap. Okay, you guys, this is becoming a rabbit hole. I guess I should have kept the current down, but let me see if this power supply still works. Power supply still works, apparently, supposedly, allegedly. So we'll go with that. Oh man, now my shop smells like crap. Jim, she's really dead now. How do I get this? Does anyone have a teardown manual for this? Oh, God. Check the floppy label. So on the original machine, this is the other floppy drive, but on the original machine, anytime I tried to access the floppy, it would just go meh, and then that's it, and it will give it a read error. And no matter what I did. So that's why I'm assuming that we're having an issue with the drive itself. Okay, that goes where? I'm like trying to figure out the engineers. What are you doing? Okay, so you got a clip latch here, or what is this? This bracket goes under what? Come on, engine nerds. About to rip this thing out of here too. The magic smoke poured out. It poured out further than I knew it was going to come out. I was not prepared for it, actually. Ah, the eject button? Is that the issue? I guess so. Yeah, the eject button's in the way, so that means the motherboard needs to come out. You engineers. Engineers. I guess we can see what burned up. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. Let's remove the motherboard and see if we can find any damage. Well, I can see that there is a burnt area here in this. And let me grab a donor board so we can grab parts off of that one. I've already taken all the screws out of the base. But the floppy has to kind of go in this way because there's a button here. And so I have to get that out first. Pretty irritated about that thing exploding. As you can tell. I felt like we were getting close. To something. Giggity giggity. Giggity giggity. Okay. I'm just gonna manhandle this. I'm gonna raw dog this thing right out of here. Is there a secret screw? Do you guys see a secret screw? It feels like it's kind of fastened right here somehow. Watch out for LLM. It's like this back cage is all part of it, so that shouldn't come off. It feels like it's fastened right here. There's a screw right there. Maybe that's it. Nope, that screw's gone. Oh, Retro Dell from 1991. I just want to get this floppy drive out. I'm just going to break this. Do you think it matters if I break this out of here? It's already broken right here. How can I break it more? Crowbar it. Because there's an eject button here, and the floppy drive has to come through this, so I can't lift it out, or else it hits that button. And no breaking. It's already broken. This whole area is broken. This is the one that just released the magic smoke. Let's see. Sent Windows 16 install disks to me. All right, 16 disks for 720s. Okay, there we go. Oh, got it. We got it. Oh, now what? What the heck am I looking at now? Yeah, the faceplate. Yeah, see how the faceplate's part of the base, and so it has to stick through here, but the button is part of the drive, and then this whole area right here. On the other machine, this is broken too, this little top part, so I guess that's a common area to fail. All right, so this ribbon cable plugs in somehow, or unplugs somehow. Let's get on a microscope for this. I can't see what I'm doing. Probably 720s, never checked. Okay, what we got? All right, does that just slide out, or is it a ZIF connector? Does it have like a latch, or is it just pressure set? Looks like it's just pressure, right? I think it's just pressure. So I should be able to just slide it out. Or does it have a latch? I'm not seeing a latch. So it's not ZIF, because ZIF would be zero insertion force. I think we're going to have insertion force. So it's an IF connector. All right. Oh, there you go. It's unplugged. So now we get to do that to the other machine, or we can just kind of set it out somewhere outside the machine, maybe. Maybe. All right, so this is the one that smoked. This motherboard let out the magic smoke. And this motherboard did not let out the magic smoke, and it actually boots up and works. But this floppy drive, it doesn't seem to be working. So we have a brand new floppy drive. Let me make sure it works. Works. Is there a way to clean the heads on these things? They're magnetic there, right? So it's not like they're brand new. Never been touched. All right, let's see if we can get this thing out without breaking it. Now we know how to do it because we've already done it once. Voila! Mark it. Yeah, mark it. Good point. Good bid. We will see. I put a good and a bad on it. But I like how you said mark it. It's getting dusty. Getting dusty in here. Okay, so from what we learned a second ago, we just need to get this thing unplugged from here somehow. Oh, let me take that floppy disk out. And it looks like this is broken just like the other one is. But I need to be able to somehow slide this thing back far enough. And get it out. There was a cleaning floppy, like a cleaning disc, like a CD. You know how they had the little brush on it or whatever? But it's magnetic, right? So I don't know if it really, how much cleaning it really needs. Remove the eject button. I'm scared to yank on it. So this one's broken. I guess I can remove this eject button. Still have a cleaning kit around somewhere. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Yes, a solution. There's a solution somewhere, huh? Oh my gosh. That button is pretty annoying. I think I got it. All right, I'm gonna try pulling this button off on this one because it's broken anyway. Use a disc to put in there. Okay. The button doesn't want to come off. So I don't know if that's a good solution. Bango. Push the eject button and pull up. So I'm pushing it in. I'm trying to push the drive back a little bit too while I'm pulling up. Get in there. Oh my God, I'm using a lot of effort, guys. And I can't really get a good grab onto it because it's not like in the best position here. Loosen the motherboard. I think that's what I did before, right? So that would make sense. What if I put a flathead down in here? Oh my God. Okay. Oh gosh, get out of here. Freaking. I hate this thing. I'm so mad at it now. Oh my gosh, this is freaking killing me. It's crowbar time, it's crowbar time, it's crowbar time. Okay. This button's going to the trash. I'm ripping this button off. Yeah, you're supposed to take the motherboard out, I think, is what you're supposed to do first. Don't make plastic like that anymore. Yep, this plastic's pretty strong. And then, you know, it's even worse. It's like I would totally just install the other floppy outside of this, but I have to take this out to even plug it in. You want a power button or eject button? There it is. I just ripped that freaking thing off of there. Okay. And look, it's like butter. It's like butter. It just comes out. There's your sign. All right. So we got that out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No big deal. That was not hard at all. It was actually one of the easier things I've done in my whole life. And so now we got the new one installed. And I'm not even gonna try to snap it in place because screw that. Okay. Easy lasagna, easy pizza. Hey, thanks for the new sub there, Marl. All right, so hopefully this board still works. The smell test says it should work. We did just smoke the other board, so I'll plug this in slowly. Bellissimo. Floppy drive's just kind of janked in this little position that way. I'm not worried about it right this second. So I'll bring the current down just a little bit, just to make sure our resting current's going to look good. Resting current, you can't see it, so how do you know it's good? Resting current, there we go. Okay. All right, and it's firing up. We got our screen again. Okay, so we're back in business. Back in business. Slide this over. Oh my gosh, so much work, people. I feel like I was battling something. All right, date and time set. All right, so here's our moment of truth. So we're going to take one of these floppy drives. This is the one that we had put the little thing over the hole. I'm going to put this in this floppy drive and see what it does. This is our brand new floppy drive. And let's go over to A and see what it does. It's reading it, doing something. It's not doing gank, 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 and done. So it does have a drive failure, general failure. I'm okay with that. General failure. I'm okay with that. Let's format it now. Format. Because it didn't sound like the other one. So it doesn't like these discs? What do you think? No bueno? I'll try another disc. So a disc without the little thing in there. You think it's dirty? Should I blow in there like a Nintendo? You may run it from format from here, but that wasn't working earlier. Wait, doormat. How is the format command in C drive, but not... Oh, you have to go to DOS? Okay. So does that mean that the path is set to DOS? Okay, insert disk when ready. This one definitely is not doing the same thing as the other one, but it's like making a different sound. Check disk A, okay, abort. So we'll do a check. Does it actually have a check disk? I guess so. Okay, that's just not doing anything. Let's try another one. Yes! Ugh. Ah. Okay. Now what do we do? Format it? Hell yeah. Write protection error. So is it... I have write protection off. I can flip the switch the other way. What does that mean? Wrong tape hole. So I didn't put a tape over this one, but there's a switch on this side. That would be the write protection, but does it need to be on this side? Do we need to put our magic electrical tape over that one? Try a different disk. We've tried so many disks. Total byte size was 600 and something. And this is an old Dell disk from let's see. This is a disk from 2000. It was actually a BIOS file for an old CP. But it should be a 1.44. All right, so what did you all say? Flip the write protection. Well, I flipped it. I've tried both positions. So I flipped the switch down, which blocks the hole, which is where it was initially. So we'll try it again. Okay. Dell just does not have a way to cover the hole on the right side. So okay. So we'll put a piece of tape over the other side. I mean, I've just flipped that switch usually, and that makes it writable or not. So I don't know what y'all are talking about. Because there's two holes here. And there's a switch on this side, and I always just flip the switch. That's what I've been doing on these other ones. So, but I'll cover up this hole on this side here, because chat is always on top of it. So we'll do that. Bad write protect sensor, maybe. Okay, so formatting 1.44. Do you see it actually saw that it was 1.44? Does that mean that this thing can read 1.44? Did it? That's a different error than before, right? I think it's a non-writable disk. No, because I can put it in my, here, I'll put it over here. We'll put it on my computer and write to it. Uncover the holes. So both holes need to be uncovered? You guys are all over the place. It's so funny, like one person says one thing, one person says the other thing. Who is right? Can I get an aggregate answer here that tells me the correct thing? Because it's pretty funny listening to you guys. My floppy disk drive. Yeah, apparently I can read 1.44s. So AI says no to formatting, to reformatting. I've used these disks tons of times in my life, so I don't know. That's incorrect, because that's why I have these disks. I use them all the time. The Dell, not all the time, but back in the day, I used to write to these Dell disks all the time. So try format AU. Why is my floppy disk not showing up anymore? If it's a Dell OEM installed disk, it's not. It's a BIOS disk, but that one, it's always worked for it. Of course, my floppy disk drive's no longer working. All right, let me go back. Okay, cover the hole with tape and it will write. Yes, that's what I thought. Opening the hole enable write protection, while closing it allows writing. Exactly. And so we have this switch. You usually just flip the switch and that makes write protection. I don't know what the other hole does, but someone earlier was saying it was a 720 thing or not, but I don't know. I could try putting tape over this hole, but what's that command you said to try? There was another command, so let me hit no here. So it said a sys. What's a sys? And then a/u. So if we do format, okay, let me go back. Control C. Command load system halted. Do I have to restart? Let me restart real quick. Okay. Okay, so try adding switch U. What does switch U do? U is offered an unformatable disk option. Okay. I like it. It might be a bad disk, floppy. I mean, we have tons of these floppies and they're all seeming to be bad. Oh, it's tried to boot off of it right now. Okay, let's try this again. So CD DOS. Okay, so we're going to say format. And we're going to do A switch U. Is that the right switch? Which switch are we using? This switch? Which? So right away it did it. If we do that one. So unconditional. Slash is forward, okay. Should I do a space instead? I don't think it matters. Switches are general, doesn't really matter, but we'll try it. Okay, invalid media track, unusable. Disk unusable. So you think it's a bad disk then? Throw it away. All right, we'll mark this one. We only have 6 disks total, so I'm going to mark this one as just, I don't know. We'll just mark it. We'll put a B on it because that's what we're saying is bad sector, but not bad disk, bad detection. Okay, but at least that one read, but let's go back through all these and see if we can get them to read at least then. So we're going to cancel that. And what was it? Sys A? What did you say it was that we were able to see the disk information? If I did this, but it was something else. It was like sys.a or something to show all the information on it. Yeah, because that's giving me a read error on that. And then we go back to C. Are we in DOS right now? I don't know where we are. CD DOS. I wish it would tell you where you are. Okay, so we're already in DOS. Okay, so what are we doing? Sys A. So sys A. Okay, so sys A on this one does nothing, so that means this one's bad then, right? I don't know if that's what that means, but we will see. I'm just going to go to the next one. I have 6 of these disks total. Do we need to do that command prompt thing again, Dave? So, do we have to do set prompt or we just do prompt? Prompt. Okay. Oh, sick. We should put that inside the autoexec.bat so we can see that every single time, right? We should edit the autoexec.bat to fix that. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's a beautiful. We can see our path now. Okay, so we're going to do sys.a again. Oh, this one's reading. Oh, it's making a beautiful sound too. Love the sound. System transferred. What are we doing? Is it we're loading a virus on here? How did we just? Oh no! Did we just load something on here? System has been transferred. You are now. Oh my gosh! I just made a bootable floppy. Does that mean it's working? Okay, so now we should be able to format this disk, right? Or should we test to see if we can boot off of it? Should we restart? Sys A formats it to boot. Okay, I'm going to restart. I just want to see if it boots off this floppy just for kicks, and then we can go back out. Huh. Oh, yeah. Dude, it's loading. We just loaded off of the floppy into DOS 5.0. All right, so we have a disk that's working, that we know functions in here. Now, it's going to be a lot of work. Are we just going to copy all the Doom or the Wolfenstein stuff over manually? Love that song. I know. I'm just like jamming to it. Just like burr, 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 burr. All right, it's for the win. All right, so we can reboot into Windows, I guess, right? And then copy all the Wolfenstein stuff over and then load it in Windows, maybe? We'll just create a directory, or we can... I'm trying to think, because we have plenty of space. So let me see if I can get this to... Actually, we're going to write good on this one. We're going to write works on this one. Works. And I'm doing 3 exclamation points. I don't know if that's too much for you guys, but 3 is the perfect amount, I think. Right? And then this other stuff, flood, is no longer on there anymore. There we go. You have to span the disk when copying. Oh, I do? Write the date on the time on there, Windows 3.1. Okay, so let's boot into Windows, just so we can get that going. Oh, I need to plug in my mouse and keyboard again. So Windows... We have our Windows. Now, this mouse and keyboard is probably not going to work, or at least the mouse probably won't work because I didn't plug it in yet. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. PS2 is not hot pluggable. Details, details. All right, so can we Alt to these menus? Alt F. Okay, Alt F X. Enter. Good thing I can use my old fingers here to move around. Okay, so let me turn it off. Turn it back on. They're not hot swappable, but hopefully they're not hot smokable. Okay, so while that's happening, booting up, I'm going to see if we can get my floppy drive showing up again. Where's our good disk at with the 3 exclamation points? There it is. 3 exclamation point disk, good to go. Of course, we have an issue with my floppy drive now. It's not showing up anymore. And I don't know what it is. Let's see. Let me uninstall this device, see if that reloads it. Oh, here it is. It's throwing an error in Device Manager. Okay. Did my floppy drive just break? Look at this. Now I have a freaking error in my floppy drive. You gotta be kidding me. Throw me a bone. We had this working, and remember how it kind of got all froze up or whatever earlier? So let me remove this device. I'm going to plug it into a different port. Copy source, X copy. Is that what I can do to copy all that? Okay, well, first I got to get it on a floppy that I can move over to this machine. I'm going to have to reboot my whole computer. Let me see, can I do it through a VM maybe and get it to pass through and it will work? I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Without having to reboot the whole computer. Do I have a virtual machine on here? Wrong keyboard. Virtual box. I don't know if I have a virtual machine on here or not. Windows XP Media Center Edition. You think that will work with that floppy drive? No, it won't have a driver for it. Reboot's my only option. Okay, let me figure that out. I can stop the stream and then log back on. I've not stopped the whole thing, but darn it, I'm booting up Windows XP. Woo! Let me connect this device and see if it even shows up in here. I don't know. Let's see, which one is it? Do you see it? Cam link, handheld. I don't see it. Do you see it? The tac? Tac. Yeah, okay. Okay. Device manager, system. Standard floppy disk. My only option was to just do this, apparently. It worked. It worked, dude. I didn't even have to reboot. It just piped it in there and it worked. Why the hell do I have a Windows XP Media Edition set up here? If you're wondering, so I worked on a Commodore PET or VIC-20 a few weeks ago, and I needed to get this USB capture card, or it was a composite RF capture card, TV card working, and it only worked in Media Center Edition, so I was having to pipe that through here and then plug it into the VIC-20 in order to see the picture. So Windows XP, this thing is so fast. Look at this. Love it. Okay, so we don't need any of these things on here. So I'm going to get rid of those. And then we'll copy over the files that Premise sent me, which are these guys. That's in a zip. Let me unzip this here. All right, and then we'll copy that. I think I have copy and paste set up on here already. We will see. Okay, so our floppy drive is done writing. Don't need that, don't need that. Let me just drag it over and see if it drops in there. I know it can be a little bit picky here, so we will see. Cannot read disk from source. Okay. Drag and drop sharing. I have bidirectional on. I got clipboard on. Come on, people. What is going on here? That should work, right? Copy. Okay, let's think about this. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? How can we get it in this stupid machine? Maybe a floppy emulator is too fast. Well, I'm just trying to get it into the virtual machine so then I can copy it onto the floppy. The floppy is working, but now I need to get the files into this. I'm not going on the internet with this thing, so I can't go download it. I'm shared folders. Let's see if we can get a shared folder going. I never use shared folders, so I'm not super used to it. Path. How do we set up a shared folder? I have no freaking clue, man. Oh, we just pick it? Okay. How about downloads? How about this folder? We'll share that folder. Okay, so now where is it? Does it show up as Windows sharing, or does it show up as a... So we have it mapped there. Auto mount. So it's showing up in my computer. Sweet. All right, now we're cooking with bacon grease. Okay, let's do this. How do I open another window? I hate this. Let's just open a window here. Let's go to my computer. Floppy B. Is it floppy B? I think it is. All right. All right, it's working, guys. It's working. Okay. So while that's doing its deed, um, 1.4 megs. 1.2, 170. It's a 1.38 meg drive. Is it because we have this DOS 5 on there? All right. Okay. I'm picking up what you're setting down. Picking up what you're setting down. Let's format the guy. Fat. 1.44. Should we do a quick format or just a regular format? Quick format work? Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous, guys. All right, so if you're just joining in, anyway, we're working on a 1991 Dell from 1991. It actually has a hard drive in it. It's an 80 meg hard drive, has 3 megs of RAM, a 386SX without the Mathco processor, so it's not compatible with Windows 95. We were able to get the boot up, but the screen ended up blowing up, and then we blew up another motherboard, and then now we're trying to get floppy disk loaded up so we can load Doom on here and see if we can get Doom playing on this machine. So the formatted disk size is 1.38. What is up with that? So let me do a full format just in case, because there must be putting something in there. I don't know what's going on here. So I'm going to have to do a full format instead. So should I try copying anyway and see if it does it? I don't know. Bad sectors maybe? But yeah, so this is going to take 4 disks. We only have 1 disk that kind of works, so we're going to have to copy the stuff over, then we'll have to come over to the computer, copy it onto the computer, then we'll have to go back, and da-da-da-da. Okay, it's working. I'm glad we didn't sit there and go through that whole thing. I'm out of coffee, guys. Where's my coffee? I want more coffee. I want some coffee. I got water, though. All right, so all the disks should be 1.38 megs, so we should be right under that threshold that we were measuring there. So game plan, we'll copy it over to this 1 disk that we have working. Then we'll stick it on here, copy it over here, and then we'll go back and forth. And 1.44 is not 1.44, it's 1.44 kilobytes, which 1.44 times 1,000 is 1,024 bytes. Disk part. We could span the disk. Yeah, so the reason why I originally didn't copy is because we did have DOS loaded into the area of the drive that's the bootable boot sector or whatever. Setting title to Doom on an old PC. Good job. That's a good idea. That way when people are dropping in, you probably should put 1991 PC or something like that. Okay, are we there? Are we back? I have to relaunch some of my software here. I can't even see the chat at this point, but I had to restart my entire computer. Everything like locked up on me. So hopefully you can hear me and hopefully you can see me. We're back. I was able to reconnect, which is a pain sometimes to do that. Hopefully Twitch is back. Yes, Twitch is back too. I got to open my widget programs for all the chat stuff here. And that looks good. That's good. Okay. Streamer bot is going. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. It was like right whenever I ejected it, the disk, the freaking the whole machine just locked up. So I have no idea what's going on with that. YouTube. Uh-oh. My OBS Studio says it's not connected, but you just sent me some message, so that should be working. Okay. Okay, we are back. We are back. Okay, so where were we? Let me make sure I have all my stuff going. I don't have this. Got to get my Elgato going. Of course, that's not working because sockets. There we go. Enable socket server. Apply. My OBS Studio is not connecting to my stuff. So Premise, did you send me a disk with viruses on it? Oh, I had to refresh. Okay, so so right now I lost control of my OBS. For some reason the server is not working now, so I cannot connect to it. One of my mods, can you go ahead and do a bell message, just so I want to see if it works, but for some reason I'm thinking it's not working because I can't connect to it through my streamer bot. It's saying this thing's not working. No audio here. Okay, bell message worked. Okay, so but the audio is working for everybody else. So everything does. So that I got your message, but it didn't show up on the screen, but I did hear it because it's playing through StreamerBot. That's why. Okay, now I get it. So one last thing I want to check here. Let's see. Enable authentication. Here, I actually have to close OBS one more time to see if I can fix this thing real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry. Okay. So hopefully I'm reconnected now. No. So I think we're going to have to do the rest of the stream without having connection to OBS. For some reason, my camera controls aren't connected to OBS anymore. Your messages aren't going through there. But anyway, I'm just going to have to live with whatever we have because it's all I can do. So, all right. So let's just copy the stuff over. I need to boot into Windows real quick. And then we can start copying the stuff over. CD Windows. Test, test, test. Yeah. So I can see your messages, but I just can't see the bell messages on the screen. So there's no interaction with OBS. So the OBS has a web server socket, and that's for some reason not working. So my tablet thing that's kind of like an Elgato or whatever that controls all my cameras, I can't connect to OBS. It's just not doing anything. I'm pushing the buttons, so I have to manually kind of change the scenes and stuff. No Windows, please. You want me to do it all in DOS? But okay. We can do it in DOS, but we're going to have to create a folder and all right, so let's create a folder somewhere. We'll just put it in the root directory, I guess. So I don't really have an Elgato. I have a thing, it's right there. It's a tablet that's like 10 years old or even longer. It's like running Android 5, and it's running a program called Macro Deck, and it's free, and then you can do all the stuff you want. So, all right, so we will do MD Doom, right? Do we have to put a path? Too many. Ah, I see. There we go. Okay. So now we should have it in there. Oh. What directory were we in then? Darn it. Okay, let's do that thing again. So it was prompt $P And the $sign what? I want to be able to see the command prompt path. G. Okay, thank you. Ah, darn it, of course. That's funny, I just wrote G there. Let me try that again. That's pretty ridiculous. Okay. Prompt, $sign P, $sign G. Okay, see Windows. Okay, so I didn't mean to put it in Windows. So go back here, MD, Doom. Oh, so I'd already put it there. Oh, because we put it in that path. Okay, duh. Okay, now we need to copy over this stuff here from A. So we're going to copy. Can we do a copy all? Doom won't fit. There's plenty of space on this, right? We have free space of 46 megs, right? X copy. So we're going to do an X copy. A star dot star to C colon. All right. Do we concur? Do I need a slash on the A? Probably. Yeah. Star slash star. So if anyone doesn't know, star means any word or any name of a file, dot, and then any name of the extension. And then, so we're getting all of them. And then we're going to copy it over to the C directory to the Doom folder. All right. Everyone concur now? Wrong slash. Gosh damn it. That's the slash I want to use for some reason, because this keyboard, I think, is laid out differently or something. Or my brain is just broken. Okay. C slash Doom. All right. Okay, concurrence. Concurrence. All right, I think we're good. Do we need to be in the DOS folder? Oh my gosh. Or set a path of DOS? I'll get it one of these times. X copy A star dot star to C. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do I have a command history? Not really. You can do arrow over, and it will kind of write the last thing you wrote, but there's no like up and down arrows for command history. Oh. I mean, this is DOS 5, dude. I mean, this is old. DOS key. DOS key. There's 4 floppies. They're not going to fit. Why do you keep saying they're not going to fit? We have 46 megs, right? We have 46 megs available. Am I completely wrong? Does that not say 46 megs right there? Decimal point over 3, 4.6 megs. That's 4.6 megs. So that means this isn't an 80 gig hard drive, 80 meg hard drive. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. That means that this is a 6 meg hard drive. It had a bad read on this too. Have you repaired monitors before? No, I don't repair monitors. Like LCD screens and stuff? No. Really only motherboards, because that's what costs a lot of money. You know, you talk about putting labor into something. We need to delete CompuServe. Definitely. Sector found, not reading. I'm just kind of putting it back in, seeing if I can get it to work better. And I'm just doing retry every time here. Okay, all right. Does check disk repair it? Oh, cancel, abort, fail. Okay, so we're gonna do a check disk. And we want to repair it too. Are you sure you want to repair it? Why are we doing 2 R's? Why do we do 2 switches of R? Eject it and blow on it. What, we play Nintendo? Invalid switch. Am I using the wrong switch again? Killing me. So check disk. A. F. R. Oh, you're saying don't use R because R is not real. R is the fake one. No R. R is switch. SanDisk A. It smells like a rabbit hole. Yeah, it's already a rabbit hole. Yeah, what time is it? 12:30. So 3.5 hours in on this stream. And I only got 30 more minutes left, so we could just kind of hang out and chat for a while, because this is, I'm going to have to try to find some floppy disks. That's what I need to do. I need to order some floppy disks or something, because these are just ones I just found in my warehouse. They've been sitting around for a long time. 0 bytes available on disk. Well, we copied every single, well, I mean, the thing would basically filled the whole thing up. Wait, so check disk F slash, another slash after. What's the extra slash here for? What's the slash for? Try check disk C. That's a good point. We can try check disk C. All right. You guys just want me to type random junk. That's what you want me to do. Okay. Use a serial or X modem. That's what we did in the time. Okay, so it's scanning the disk right now. Michael Dell's Revenge of the Floppy. I have hundreds of floppies, USB interface drives. Very interesting to play with. Okay, so did it really check the whole disk just now? All right, so this says what? 84 megs. Right? 5 hidden files. So bytes available on disk. 3 megs. You're right. Bad sectors. Look at all those bad sectors. Would you say that it has a plethora of bad sectors? Do you even know what a plethora is? 84 megs, 6.4 disks, 8 megs. It's almost full. So if we delete CompuServe, right? Is it its own folder or what? Where do they put that stuff? I can't. Every slash I pick is the opposite slash that I need to use. Win.com, PC Plus, games. We can delete. Oh, there's CompuServe CS or CServe. Okay. So what do we do? DEL, CServe. It's a DEL. I can't remember. I'm going for it. Are you sure? What you gonna do with the bad files? I'm gonna do nothing. Delete tree. Ah, smart. It's like recursive, right? Delete tree. Delete tree doesn't work. So what about delete recursive, right? Like this? Oh, wait, so you're saying Q, F, and S. Oh, I'm not even in the DOS folder, you're right. Tired of that. Path equals C. Okay, all right. That solves that issue. Okay, so now we're going to say delete tree, and then we'll do cserve. Nope. I'm having so much fun with this. Okay, so we're just going to do DEL, Q, F, and S. All right. So we're going to do Q, F, S, and then now we have to write the whole freaking path because we left the damn directory. And you know how much I like typing on this keyboard. cserve. Okay, concur. Q, we don't have a Q. Remove directory is definitely not remove directory. I've always used just DEL. That's what I always used. RMG. Quiet. Oh, it's just quiet. Okay. Well, we don't need quiet. Because that's if you're putting it inside of like an auto exec. Do it from Windows. Do it from Windows. All right. Or I can just do that, which is what I was originally going to do, but that I didn't want to make sure that dr/w cserve is still there. But so let's go inside of cserve. What if we could have done star.star? Okay. So we still have all the directories are still there. How much space do we have left now? Oh, is that space all of it? So that's still the free space. Okay, let's try. Could we try format C? But we have the freaking Windows on there, bro. It's 311. Okay, just use delete. But can we do delete? You really think that RD is going to work? I've never heard of RD. Wait, we're in that directory we're in, so you can't do that. Let's do RD WinSign. I am getting tired. What is, so remove directory. So it does have that, but if it has stuff in it, you have to do some sort of recursive in there. RM directory, is that even something? Required parameters. Okay, well it does have, RM directory does work too. But does it have to be empty before you do it? Delete deletes everything. Start at star. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to go back a directory here. And we're going to say del star.star. But you get, no, that's not right. Because you have to tell the path. That deletes everything on our, that deletes everything where we're at. Yeah, you don't want that. All right. I like how everyone jumps in. No, don't do that. You're going to delete the directory you're in. That's like a hacker. Santa Claus, you're trying to make me delete my hard drive here? All right, so now remove directory with those switches. Okay, so we're going to do it. Remove directory, S and Q. Why do we need to do it quiet anyway? I want to do it really loud. Oh my God. This keyboard sucks, by the way, if you haven't noticed. Okay, so RD works. Oh, I'm about to quit. About to quit this bowl. RD, S, Q. I don't need to do a path because I'm here. C, serve. S doesn't work. Quit. Okay, I quit. It's under DOS 5. Well, I set the path though, that's why. See? That's why I was like, well, I don't need to do this, right? So, I mean, is the path not working? Is that path a lie? Pathological liar? RD. Okay. Switch S. Switch Q. Because it's not like it's not running the program. C serve. See, it's just saying invalid switch. I'm going to rage quit. Yeah. All right, let's just quit for a little bit, or quit because I'm done. That's the end of the day anyway. Oh my gosh. Ugh. And see, even my counters are wrong on here. Look at that. We were up to 173 people whenever the thing crashed, apparently. I don't know. On Twitch. And, but yeah, I'm going to shut this thing down. Shut this thing down. Finally, just quit, bro. I'll play around with this maybe, or I'll just put it back in my display case and not mess with it, because the hard drive definitely has some issues, doesn't it? It has some issues. But we can hang out for a little bit, and I can answer your guys' questions, technical questions, whatever you want to ask me. Do it. Do it to it. And we have about 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Let me pull up my chat window here. This was a rabbit hole for sure. Good old rabbit. DOS 6 added the recursive stuff. Okay, so I have to go through one by one. So if I did it in Windows, it would have been easier because I could have just went click, click, delete, click, click, delete. Right? So that's what the advantage of having a GUI interface is for, right? Dell 9530 experience. Yes, I have plenty of experience with that. Salem Techsperts, did you see the M1730 video? I started watching it this morning. I haven't finished it. Yes, I actually have one of those. Yes, I still have one that has a dual 9800 GTXs in it, and yeah, it was a monster. I used it for a while, and yes, that did play Crysis. That was a machine that I actually put Crysis on and played Crysis, which is kind of funny because we were just talking about that. How do you load Doom on a 1991 laptop? We were trying to do it through floppy disks, but utterly failed. It's 4 floppy disks, and then we had to try to copy them over, but we were using a Windows XP virtual machine in order to copy the stuff over. Yesterday's video was pretty cool with the display chase. Yeah, and so this display thing, I did have this issue in the past. Well, actually, that was the first video that I found that issue on in the first place, I believe. And sorry, I'm setting my camera here. So that display flickering thing, that video is 6 months old. Sometimes I like dig through this, I'm like, oh man, here's some old footage of a video that I filmed a while ago. So the video I put out yesterday was 6 months old. And the first time I ever saw the issue with the flickering was with that video, and then since then I've actually seen it a few more times, and I did fix that a few more times just automatically because I knew it was there. But anyway, we need to refresh DOS commands. We need a better keyboard because that was a pain in the ass. I should have just put the external keyboard up. It was an awesome video for Andy. Yeah, I'll need to contact him and let him know that I have one of those too. And I probably should. I want to send him like another one because another type of laptop that he can mess around with because he's always scraping for video content. Yeah, 3.1 has a file manager, which would have make it a lot easier. Lead Farmer says I played Crysis with no computer. Took a snack. What? How would you play with no computer? You are crazy. You are crazy. This desk is disgusting. Had an issue with the past live stream. Have you had issues with past live streams? Sometimes we have an issue. It will crash like early on, but not later on. I don't know what that issue was, but we were running a virtual machine, and I have 6 cameras running, and I have all sorts of stuff hooked up here, and so sometimes I do overload my system a little bit. I thought you looked younger. Well, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I'm balding, but nobody can see it most of the time because I kind of keep it out of the shot. And I have I'm gray really bad. All my beard's gray. I keep it short so you can't see it. But I'm born in 1980, so I'm 45 years old. I couldn't save this laptop. That's what you wanted to hear. You finally got to see it live. Well, welcome. I'm glad you came. I do this twice a week, so Sunday mornings, Wednesday evenings. Adrian Black had been great for this. He would have fixed it. Well, maybe I should have sent it to him. Darn it. I never played PC games. I used to play consoles for that. Yeah. And I have an old console, but I never play it. But I look fresher. Read a long question on Twitch. Okay. When you have too many words, it just kind of goes straight over my head. No, not over my head, but too many words. Woohoo! Can I ask one thing? I have an old laptop without an internal battery. I use it with the charger only, and it works fine, but resets the BIOS every time. It doesn't have a CMOS battery. Would it work to hook up a 3.3 directly to the BIOS chip to reset it, or so it doesn't reset? 3.3, yeah, it's maybe. I don't know. Where would you hook it up? Because it would be an RTC line, so there's going to be an RTC line still on there, but I've never hacked it like that, so I don't know. I'm sure there's a line that is supposed to stay at 3 volts. It's actually right around 3 volts, 3.1 volts for that to keep the clock all the time. I don't know. So interesting question, but I would just kind of live with it, really, because it's just, an extra few minutes of, because when you boot the Windows, it automatically sets your time anyway, so who cares? That's what I always say. I'm like, who cares? I never set the time in the BIOS. I just boot the Windows, and then Windows automatically connects to the internet and gets it. So, Alfred's part of the 1980 gang. The 1980 gang. 1980. What the fuck? Did you think I was? Does that mean I'm young or old? Which one does that mean? Technically, the laptop was functioning or is functioning, except the screen blew up. Use PKZip to copy multiple disks on large programs. That might be something. I can't pull the drive out and even copy it over. That's what I would have said. Carmageddon was the game. I think it was too new for Adrian. Kermit still is maintained by the author, Frank Cruz, as he transfers everything over to Serial. Really? I didn't know that. The boot disk files expanded memory and game console time. Probably. Thanks for the power meter plans. Finished it up. Sent you an email. Mine has a different in and out. Oh, I need to take a look at that email so I can see that. And I am working on plans for doing the mod to make it where it's USB, so you can plug it in USB. But we'll see when we get there. Maybe I'll have a community help me do that. It would be a lot easier than me sitting here writing all this stuff. Young, I'm from 1982. Santa Claus says. When you get a chance, can you take a look at? Darn it! It just moved. This thing keeps moving. Can you take a look at the message I left for me on Discord? I will. I'll go through. I went through Discord a little bit this morning. I'm not always on there, so I just kind of look at it occasionally. Carmageddon was from 1995, 1996. ME was the last Windows I used with DOS. And I used ME, yeah, because I went to XP after that, which was all NTFS and NT-based stuff. Let's see. Us old timers appreciate you folks like Nate experiencing DOS. I think it's fun just to kind of mess around and go, to the olden days, right? My kids always say that I'm from the olden days, the 1900s. So I think it's funny where it's like, oh, we're old, I guess. I never thought about that, but you're from 1978 or 75 is still young to you. It doesn't have one, but the laptop's quite old and the batteries aren't available. It doesn't use Windows or drivers. Secure boot is disabled. Okay. Yeah, so then I would try to find the 3.3 line when it's on and maybe try to map something to it, but it's going to be near the EC chip somewhere. So you got to find the EC chip on there and then just maybe measure to see where there's 3.3 over there and then maybe tie it to that and just have a... But you want something where it's not going to sit there and just draw full current. So you want something that's really low current. So I don't know exactly where it is on that. I don't know which machine it is, but... You had Windows 2000 Professional. I never used Windows 2000. I knew plenty of people did. I used XP. I went straight to XP from 98 SE. You used Windows 2000 and Windows 2000 Home Server. Yesterday I watched your video. Did the customer get called? Did that customer call? Did you get his money back from his previous? Sorry, I can't read this. Watched yesterday's video. Did the customer you called get his money back from the previous demolition experts? I'm not 100% on that. Like I said, that is an older video that I just found in kind of the bucket of all these videos I've filmed over the long time. So it's about 6 months old. But I'm going to reach out to him because I told him I filmed it and then I never posted it. So now I can reach out to him and I can get a little update on that. Maybe I can do a little update video on that. But most of the time, what I've been finding is whenever I post a video after, because I actually have 2 other repairs that I just filmed that repair shops destroyed the laptop. I just don't understand. And so far, whenever the customer sends the video to the repair shop, they give the money back. So, and one of them even paid for my repair. So they refunded the original work and then paid for my repair on one of them. So I thought that was pretty good. The Windows 3.11, 95, 98 SE, ME, Windows NT 4.0, 2000, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 10, and now Windows 11. Man, you're going through them all. You have to run. Hey, Gritty, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Hey, thanks for that new sub. Tier 1 sub from Phoenix. See you, Gritty. I used to use Windows ME. You and me. Let's see what else we got here. Thanks. I thought I'll give it a try. Maybe time for a new laptop. Yeah, I mean, you can keep those laptops around, but just keep them plugged in maybe if that's really what it is and you don't want to unplug it or you don't want to lose its time. Just keep it plugged in. Would an old zip drive work on a 1991 laptop used parallel ports? Yes, it would. You'd have to use drivers, so that's kind of the main issue. Even there used to be when I first started getting into repair, I worked at a repair shop and I had to use a parallel port CD-ROM drive in order to load Windows 98 on machines. And so I had a floppy disk that I would use to boot off of that would load the drivers that would allow it to interface through the parallel port to access the CD drive, so then I can access the Windows 98 SE disk or CD so then I can load it on there. So and SE stands for second edition, so that was like way superior than the regular 98. OS plus Warp. I used a VIC-20, a C128, an Atari 1200 XL, and a Xenos, which I never used one of those, 286, 386. I use laptops in the terminal, Telnet, to access routers and switches. You still do. I doubt you do that anymore, right? You're currently using Bazite, which is a Linux distro for gaming. CD on a parallel port, you got to have time for that. Yeah, it takes a long time because you're booting off a floppy first to even make it access the CD-ROM drive. I'm fully certified Windows 3.5.1 systems engineer. Anyone? So I worked at a pizza company in the late 90s who was on a Cobalt server. So the server was a reel-to-reel Cobalt server, and they had all the terminals, and it was a big call center for this pizza place. And they were trying to deal with Y2K. So in 1998, they went and upgraded their servers to Pentium 2, 333, slot 1 processors and all that, running Windows NT 3.5.1, which I thought was kind of strange because they didn't put 4.0 on it. They ran 3.5.1. And yeah, that was very out of date pretty quickly. The struggles are real. Xenos was a company, or was competing with Dell. Oh, I didn't know that. Still have Windows 1.0 on a 5.25 floppy, 5.25 floppy. I'm wondering if that floppy works, because these floppies have just been sitting around and they don't work, and I thought they were completely going to work. Can't remember what an A1200 operating system had. I would call Microsoft when I had a question. The secretary would answer and patch me through to an engineer. $300, 1 megabyte of memory in 1981. Acer or an ASR 33, anybody? I used an IDE to USB to put files on. Oh, yeah, I have one of those over here. That's what I used to, that old machine we worked on a while back that had an old IDE drive. I had to load Windows 98 on it, and I did that. I tried to get a Microsoft license in 2006, but got denied. Cobalt is still used today. It was rock solid. I mean, if they didn't have a Y2K issue, they would have kept using that, because it was running like 50 terminals, and all the agents are on there, taking pizza orders and doing all that and sending it to the stores, and it had like a direct connect. They had like 200 phone lines, but they were all like, I don't know if it was ISDN or whatever, but it was connecting to each one of the stores, and there was like 60 pizza stores or 40 or something like that, and it was all direct connect. When they switched to the other thing, they were all using thin clients. It was super laggy because it had a GUI and all that stuff. And then to send the orders to the stores, they were using fax interfaces where it would actually use a multi dial-up card that would dial to a fax machine at the store and print it out. I thought it was the stupidest replacement ever. And then that place went out of business. I mean, it's down to like a couple stores. Maybe there's only franchises left. I don't know. That was Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, if you know it from the 90s and 80s. They had a good jingle. Cobalt is a file-oriented. Oh, and that's actually the place, because I told you a story one time where I got given a mainframe. They gave me the old Cobalt mainframe. It was huge, and I put it in the back of my 91 Nissan pickup truck, and it broke the shocks on it. It ended up bending the leaf springs. So Cobalt is now owned by Sun Microsystems, and didn't they buy Java too? Is that right? Cobalt is like Vector Graphics S100 with a terminal. I have an old RLL hard drive from 1986, holds 32 megs. That's huge. 32 megs in 1986? That's huge. Congratulations. That's huge. I think it's 3.2 megs. That's way too much. Did you ever use punch cards back in the day? I never used punch cards on a computer. We use punch cards to punch into work. No, so I'm not that old. I never did that, but I'm sure there's plenty of people in the chat here who are about to chime in for you, answer that question for you. In my heyday, I had Windows Server 2003. I have an old dusty XP machine I brought out occasionally to access turbine limiters. Really? It's a bit late. Hi, Nate. you made it. Yeah, so right now I'm at my 4 hours on my stream, so I'm going to have to cut out because it is Sunday, and I got kids and I got family and all this stuff I got to run home. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Hold on, we got one big old giant chat that just came in. I know it's not a Dell computer, but I don't know if you want to give me a hint to take a look. And I don't know where to start. Big old message. Whenever you have too many words like that, it's hard for me to read all those words really fast because the chat's moving fast, so I have to kind of pin it up here. Flashes 12 times. LED. So flash codes aren't going to help me. I can't do anything with you. If it's not a Dell, I can't tell you anything. So that's something to ask maybe a chatbot or something. Orange light's changing on. I suspect a shock. DVD. Yeah, I don't know. If it's not a Dell, I can't answer it. I've never worked on another computer in my whole life, if that helps. I mean, back in the late 90s, I worked at a repair shop and that we did other repairs, but I only work on Dells. So I'm sorry I can't answer that question. Anyway, I'm signing off. That was what I was trying to do, and I thought it was a fun stream. At least we got somewhere, right? I'm glad we were able to at least get the screen show up first temporarily. We got the other screens going up. We got a screen that blew up. We got a motherboard that blew up. We had a floppy drive that was bad. We got a floppy drive that worked. We got floppies that were bad. We were able to boot to Windows 3.1. We were able to try to run some commands to delete some stuff, but we couldn't really figure out all that stuff. But we weren't able to play Doom or Wolfenstein. So did we fail? I don't know. I have no idea, but I think we had fun. So anyway, I appreciate everybody coming out. Thanks for all the donations to the stream. That stuff is, I guess, going to me because there's no repair today. But I appreciate that. And I want to thank all my mods that are out there and helping me out, taking care of the chat. And you guys, make sure to like this stream at the bottom before you leave because that helps it boost it in the algorithm anyway. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit subscribe because a lot of people aren't subscribed. Mr. Wonderful, thank you for those bits. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And thanks for watching. I kind of saved this laptop.